Hey guys, Rad Rob here from the Rad Turtles Wrestling Podcast. Before we get to today's program, I gotta have a little talk with you. Remember back in the day when even just a stiff breeze would get your soldier standing at attention? Yeah, I know as we get older, it doesn't happen as easily as it used to, but I may have something that will help you out. It's called Blue Chew. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know that they work. You can take it anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach, and since they're chewable, they will work up to twice as fast as the other pills. So you can be ready anytime it's time for your boy to go. This isn't just for guys who can't perform, it's for anybody who wants extra function to enhance their performance in the bedroom. I've tried it. Rad Wife can attest to that. Whenever I pop a Blue Chew, she knows it's go time. Most guys can talk a good game, but if you're one and done, Blue Chew can even help you follow through for round 2. Blue Chew is prescribed online and shipped straight to your door in a discreet package, so no in-person doctor's visit, no waiting in those lines at the pharmacy, and best of all, no more awkwardness. They're made in the USA, and since Blue Chew prepares and ships directly, they're cheaper than a pharmacy. Right now, we got a special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free. That's right, your first shipment is free when you use our special promo code RAD. All you have to do is just pay $5 shipping and handling. Again, that's BLUEChew.com, promo code RAD to try it free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper, faster choice, and we thank them for sponsoring the Rad Turtles Wrestling Podcast. So visit BlueChew.com to get it on. Welcome, everybody, to Rad Turtle Wrestling Podcast, a hard-hitting, in-depth, cutting-edge look at today's product in the world of professional wrestling. Now, without further ado, here are your hosts, Rob Francois and Jeff Johnson. Welcome, everybody, to Rad Turtle Wrestling Podcast, a hard-hitting, in-depth, cutting-edge look at today's product in the world of professional wrestling. Now, without further ado, here are your hosts, Rob Francois and Jeff Johnson. Hey guys, welcome back to the Rad Turtles Wrestling Podcast. It is hashtag RadMania.
What?
We are in day 4 of RadMania.
They're all running together at this point.
That's right. This is episode 29. This is the fucking flagship, baby.
Yeah.
We're coming out guns a-blazing on this one. It is the lead into WrestleMania 35 and the Rad Turtles weekend here in Nashville. So Jeff's coming down to see me, and we're going to fucking tear it up in Music City. So we're all excited. This is going to be a great fucking weekend, man.
Pizza, beer, and wrestling, bro. I'm ready.
Pizza, beer, and wrestling. That's it. Well, we're not going to have much to talk about Raw and SmackDown. We got a lot more to cover. We got a shit ton to cover on the show. But these had to be the absolute worst fucking go-home shows I've ever seen in my life. Would you agree?
Hindsight, I guess. It's, yeah. Like, I was expecting,
compared to years past, like...
Yeah.
Like, it's WrestleMania season. Like,
I was expecting more. Yeah, like, you wanted something to kind of leave you ready for Mania, but I guess, I don't know if it felt like that we're already kind of there, that we don't...
You're right. I think we're already there, and just, we don't... They could have shown a whole show of just video packages and shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they did nothing to serve, like, anything. They did nothing to build any anticipation. We're already there. We already know what the matches are. They've already, like, disappointed us up until then. Let's just get to the fucking event, because this whole season has sucked ass.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing real, like... I guess they seemed like they put a whole lot of effort into was the women, the big...
Yeah, but that was so that was so fucking corny, man. We'll get into that, but Jesus Christ.
It was, but at least,
That's Vince McMahon booking, like, right there. Like, if you look at a fucking perfect example of Vince McMahon booking in, like, fucking Wikipedia, that would be it.
You're right. But I don't know. At least you could tell they put some effort into that. But I did start laughing during it because it was kind of funny. But
I mean, I laughed. We'll get into what I thought about it here in a second. But yeah, man, it's just goddamn. All right. Let's stop bullshitting here. Let's get into what we thought about this week's go-home show of Monday Night Raw.
It's my life in the box in front of me. Then he talk in my arms, it's the soul of me.
can't even get excited for like announcing it. Usually, like it's Monday Night Raw.
And usually, you have your seizure while you're saying
right.
Raw. Like,
now I'm just like, yeah, here's fucking Monday Night Raw. I don't even know what city they're in. I really don't even give a shit. I thought the crowd sucked, especially
they were in Washington, Batista's hometown.
Yeah, I mean they were okay. I mean they weren't like Lafayette bad, but I mean they were. They were. I always got.
They could have been in Birmingham, Alabama too. So I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, anyway, at least we started a show with sexy ass Stephanie McMahon.
She was looking good this week, bro.
Yeah, she was. My wife's like, "What is she wearing?" I'm like, "She's wearing a silk shirt."
You're like not much.
Yeah, not much. She's like, "That's so '90s." I'm like, "Fuck you, man. Silk shirts were in back in the fucking '90s. That shit was." She's my age. She's rocking that shit. And apparently it was a little cold in the air, a little nipply in the air.
It's a little frosty in Washington that night. Yeah,
a little nipply inside the building. So. Steph came out and announced the fact that we're going to have kind of what most people predicted was winner take all in this women's title match in the main event, putting the SmackDown and Raw women's championships. Easy fucking for me to say. Goddamn women's belts are coming together. They're gonna make one champion. So
yeah,
we kind of expected that to happen. My wife mentioned that or asked me tonight what's going on, and I said, yeah, they're unifying the titles. She's like, why? I'm like, I guess because they want one champion. Well, are they gonna do it with the men? I said, no, probably not. Well, then how is that fair? How's that equal? Fuck if I know. I don't know.
I don't know. My opinion, I think it's a temporary thing.
Yeah.
I think they want to see a certain person hold both titles to kind of have that visual, and then maybe a month or two down the line, maybe they'll hold a tournament on whichever show that person's not on or something, something like that. But
so you're not fully sold on they're gonna unify the titles and make one champion, like there's one tag team champion?
I don't think so, because they're not actually using the word unify. Like,
no, you're right. They just say winner take all.
They're just saying whoever wins is going to hold both titles.
Yeah, you're right. So, that's a good point. I didn't think of that. That's if you go by their language.
They're very particular about the way they say things. Like, the first ever WWE women's tag team.
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah. Okay, no, I like that. I'm okay with that. I don't like the fact that the unifying the bullshit. When it just started last year. So.
Right.
There's no point in doing that. And I think eventually we'll have 2 tag team champions for the women, unless they're going to drop the whole bland split. God damn, I can't talk.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it really was pretty bland. But if they stop the brand split, see, I can't do that either. I mean, they're not going to if they're going to go back to having one roster on both shows, they wouldn't be doing the shakeup. So
yeah, I don't think they're going to do that. I mean, I wish what they would do is just
be clear about their fucking booking, maybe?
Right. Have one women's champion, one women's tag team, one men's champion, one quote-unquote mid-card title, one set of tag team champions.
Yeah, but then you got to be like, well, who's going to be on what show? One show's going to be without a title. I mean,
now... I'd have all the champions be on both shows and just kind of, mix and match. So, like, you can have the Intercontinental Champion face a SmackDown superstar on one pay-per-view, WWE Champion face a Raw superstar on that same pay-per-view, and then you could swap back and forth, mix and match, do all that. And then I think the titles would matter a lot more than having 58 belts on one brand.
They still could do that. And I guess the way Sasha and Baylor are doing it, like, the Iconics were on Raw this week. So, I mean, I guess if you're a tag team, you're allowed to be on both shows. I don't fucking know. They don't explain shit.
Yeah, that was weird.
It just happens, and we have to react to it. So this is why we're here. This is what we get paid for.
Right. I guess they kind of figured, well, we're doing it for Kurt Angle and his opponents. It's WrestleMania, so we might as well just put whoever on.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit. I don't know. Like the 18-person fucking tag team match on SmackDown?
Yes.
Really, guys? That was your best choice to fill 2 fucking hours?
Hey, they could have done a gauntlet instead.
Yeah, like we haven't seen enough of that shit.
Right.
So, next we had Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins. I don't mind him interrupting Brock. And I kind of like that he got the upper hand in this segment. But did it make you that more interested for the match? I mean, did it get you more pumped up about it since he kind of got the upper hand?
Honestly, a little bit.
I don't like the fact that they touched. Like, I'm a big proponent of not touching until the fucking main event, until WrestleMania. Like, I want to pay to see these guys get their fucking hands on each other.
I think in a way this had to be done just for the fact that we haven't seen Seth be physical at all because of this back injury.
True.
So now he actually got physical. So now we know, okay, he's good to go.
Okay.
At least the quote unquote hardcore fans would know that.
Right.
Plus, there's this notion that if you're standing tall on Raw or SmackDown before the pay-per-view, then you're going to lose.
Yeah.
And so it kind of puts them down because pretty much most people think it's a foregone conclusion that Rollins is beating Lesnar. So if you have Rollins standing tall, then it's like, okay, well, maybe they might go a different direction. So
yeah, I mean, we've been talking lately. We're not sure if Brock is actually leaving. I mean, we know what Dana White said, but we don't know if Brock's actually leaving for UFC. Right. We thought the same thing last year, and he kept the title at WrestleMania. What's to say he's not going to do it again this year? Piss everybody off.
I saw not long before we started this show, and then I'm not going to consider this a spoiler because it's not, but the odds in this match changed drastically today. Like over the last couple of weeks, Seth Rollins was a very, very heavy favorite. All of a sudden now, Brock Lesnar is a slight favorite.
Yeah.
So that's odd. It's the only match that's really changed. So that's weird. Like, is that smart money starting to come in or something? Or
it's gonna be hard. It might be. It's gonna be hard to predict, and we're not gonna make our predictions until the WrestleMania pre-show that we're gonna be streaming live on YouTube Live this Sunday.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make you tune in for it just to find out. But we want you to tune in anyway. But we're gonna leave you on a cliffhanger and not predict the WrestleMania matches. We will be doing the NXT Takeover predictions tonight.
Yep.
In our G1 Supercard, but not the WrestleMania matches. So
yep.
And this one's gonna be hard to pick. You're right. I thought we all thought when they announced this match, well, it's Seth's time to fucking shine, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's his time to go, and he probably still will if they're announcing him in McIntyre, for the foreseeable future. I mean, the way Drew's going now, there's no reason why it wouldn't be for a title. Like,
right.
Drew's gonna be poised to be that next guy after Seth. So
right.
But you never know. They could fuck us over again. So
it's true. I give the WWE a little bit of credit because everything was really predictable 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden we don't know who's going to win this match. We don't know who's going to win the women's match. All of a sudden because now you got both titles involved. Yeah. So they're doing a good job of kind of put at least a little bit of doubt in everybody's mind. So
True.
I like it.
I like it too. And I did mention to you off air that I'm going to have a huge like prediction for WrestleMania that you're not going to believe. No one's going to believe.
You've kept me on the edge of my seat for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah, I know.
I'm almost ready for the show because of that alone.
Yeah. Well, now I'm going to have two that are going to surprise you. So.
Oh. Yeah. Just because it's Radmania week. You got to.
I got to tease it.
I like it.
But yeah, Heyman and Brock came out to start this segment with a promo, like always. And Heyman did his whole typical spoiler alert, Brock's going to fucking win and all that. Like, we pretty much heard it. I mean, he delivered it fine, but it's the same old Paul Heyman go home fucking promo, pretty much,
Which is good, but
yeah, which is good.
You know what you're going to get.
So in that sense, I'm kind of glad Seth came out to at least, add something different to it. And it's good for him because being a smaller guy, he's got to show some fire, and he's going to show that he can match up with Brock, and he hit him with the fucking super kick on his knees, man. I love that fucking move.
Yeah, I do too.
And then hit the curb stomp. So I mean that's a great way to that should have ended the show to me. That shouldn't have been on the beginning of the show. I know they love the whole women's shit and all that, but I feel like this should have ended the show. Seth standing tall, after the curb stomp. Yeah,
either this or the women's segment I thought should have ended, which we'll talk about the end of the show when we get to it, how I felt about that. But
yeah.
Well, one of those two had a bigger impact, I thought, especially this. Yeah, Rollins standing tall over Lesnar would have been a good visual going into Mania.
Yeah, it's two of your biggest stars. Arguably two. Your two biggest stars.
Yeah,
right now. But Bayley and Sasha Banks took on. Hold on, was this a fucking?
It was a 8-person.
8-person tag. Yeah. I'm sorry. I fell asleep during half the show. Right around this time. Like right after Sasha fucked up her spots, I kind of said, yeah, I'm going to sleep. Sasha, like we said, hasn't looked great lately. She missed like a springboard, like Japanese arm drag off the ropes. And, credit the fucking, I don't know if it was Billy or Peyton that was in the ring with her, but she held on and held her spot until, Sasha regained her composure and finished the move. And then like she tagged in Bayley, and they went for their little fucking like hand slap fucking elbow shit. Like, I don't know, they kind of fucked that up too. Like, Sasha has not looked good lately, and I don't know what her deal is, but she's botching all kinds of shit.
Yeah, we've talked about it for a couple weeks now. I don't know what's going on with her, man. Like, I don't know if she's still hurt. I don't know if she's just
lost her confidence, or not good in tag team matches. I don't know.
Because we've seen her be confident before, and we've seen her put on good matches. Like,
it's fantastic matches, like some of the best matches, in women's history.
Yeah.
But she proved it again Monday night. She just looks sloppy out there, just blowing spots all over the place.
Right. She needs to go back heel. I don't know if she's tired of being a baby face. But yeah, something's up with her, and I hope they can figure out what's going on because she's much better than what she's showing.
Well, Beth Phoenix, who hasn't been in the fucking ring in 5 years, it's fucking fantastic.
She looked great. Yeah.
She hasn't missed a beat, man.
Yeah, when she tackled Tamina through the barricade, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. And then hit the glam slam for the win, man. I love that move. That's
great finisher. I miss that move. It's so good.
I do too. I forgot how good she was.
Yeah.
So it's good to see her back. I hope she sticks around. She probably won't, but I really hope she does because she is good. She really, really, really is. She's better than Natty, in my opinion.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that when Beth was in the women's division, when she was full time, like she was the best in the women's division.
Yeah, she was.
Because it was a time where it was kind of down, but she carried that division for a while. She was arguably, maybe not even arguably, the best diva, I guess, at the time in the company. Like she's so good.
Yep, sure. So this match didn't do anything for me to get excited for WrestleMania. I'm not looking forward to this tag team match, but
it made me excited to see Beth because she's showing that she can still go. But besides that, no,
I agree. Next was Batista. Fucking love Batista, man. So he comes out, fucking walks around the ring for a while. They put the little spotlight on him like they used to. They turn all the lights off and just put the spotlight on him.
I love it.
I love it too. And then he points to the Titantron, and can we even call that anymore? Like,
I still call it a Titantron.
Okay. Okay. I mean, Titan Tower's going away. So
I was about to say, when they move from Titan Towers, do we have to change it? Is it like the universe monitor now?
The universe, the Unitron.
The Unitron. It will be called that starting next Monday. I guarantee you that's exactly what it's going to be called.
If you guys are fucking listening to the show, it's now called the Unitron. We said it right here first. So Batista points to the Unitron for a video package.
I like that.
And then he cuts this promo after this. So let's take a look.
Hunter, kiss my
Wow. It is going to be a fight on Sunday.
Well, that was quick.
pretty to the point.
That was the best part of Raw, in my opinion.
Yeah, right.
If the whole show could be fucking 6 seconds, that'd be fantastic. Dude.
Right. Yeah, man.
It was perfect though. It really was. For all the horrible shit leading up to this match, that was the perfect way for him to just leave it like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and we said last week that the talking's pretty much done. They don't need to have any physicality. So do a video package this week. That's all you got to do. And you know what? They did. So, Batista just said, "Hey, Hunter, kiss my ass," and that was it.
Boom.
I loved it. That's all
I loved it too, and it gets an A for me, man. That was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Apollo Crews against Jinder Mahal in a lumberjack match. I didn't see it. I was in and out of consciousness, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway, right?
I mean, it was pretty much WWE's attempt to make the Andre somewhat meaningful.
Yeah, I guess they had a whole bunch of people outside the ring.
Yeah,
watching it. So
and then everybody jumped in and started throwing people out, and Titus looked really strong.
Yep.
But then Mahal and Crews came back in and stuff. And yeah, I mean, and it was your typical teasing a battle royal for the show. Yeah. It was what it was.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not excited for the battle royal anyway, so there's nothing you could do to really get me excited about it unless I don't know somebody begs me to be in it.
It needs a payoff. There's got to be some kind of payoff for this.
We know there's going to be a payoff. We're just not sure who or what. Like,
There hasn't been one yet.
I mean, I don't mind predicting this one. I don't think Braun's going to win, honestly. I think it's too easy for it to pick him.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't see it happening, but...
Yeah, which, we'll get into predictions, but, I mean, there's a couple people that could use this win, you know? Like, I'll throw a name out there. I think Andrade would be perfect. I think that would look good on him to win something like this. Yeah, it's the Andre, but he's an up-and-comer. It's at WrestleMania.
Or
something like that would really help him.
Ali,
yeah, another one. Yeah, that would be great, considering he was more likely going to be in a bigger spot than Andre the Giant before he got hurt. So, yeah, he would be a good one, too.
Yeah. Next, we had a Kurt Angle promo. I did watch this. Kurt was out there talking about, it's his last Raw. So, he just wanted to thank the fans and how great they've been to him over the years. And then all of a sudden, the announcer comes on and says, please turn your attention to the Unitron. And then they showed a Kurt Angle package, and I don't think he was expecting it.
I don't think so either.
I think that was just a surprise for them, to do something nice for him, because he was bawling his eyes out when the camera came back on him after the
and it was awesome. Of all the things at times WWE does wrong, their video packages are never wrong.
Yeah, and they had a whole bunch of legends talking about how great he was, like Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H, and everyone putting Kurt over how good he is, and then showing all his greatest moments. And man, it was so good. It really was.
Yeah. And I'm gonna have a lot more.
Got me a little teary-eyed too. So.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna have a lot more to say about this coming up in a brand new segment we're gonna be doing here in a little bit.
That's right.
So
we're gonna have a brand new segment starring Jeff Johnson called "Thinking Outside the Shell." So I love it.
You guys are going to be. I don't know how you're gonna feel about what I have to say about it, but
you may, and maybe your heel turn. I don't know.
It might be, but you guys will see. Trust me. But when it comes to video package, I thought it was awesome. It was so good. This was Kurt's big retirement moment. One of them, at least. I thought this was
until he got interrupted by Baron Corbin.
Right.
Like, really, they gotta fucking do this on the last Raw. Like, they're gonna go to the end of the earth to fucking try to put heat on this poor kid. You know what I mean? Like, he's already got enough heat on him that he's in the fucking last match of Kurt Angle's career. Yeah. Do you really need to heat him up anymore? Like, just let Kurt have his fucking 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, I really hope they do something on the Raw after Mania, like his fucking farewell party or whatever. Like,
yeah, kind of like they did for Rick.
I really hope in Shawn, at least have him have like a 10-minute segment to just talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he has. I mean, it's been said that this is his last match. They haven't said it's the last time he's ever going to appear on Raw.
Well, I mean, he pretty much said on Raw this is his last appearance on Raw. So.
Yeah, I guess he did kind of say that. Yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, I mean,
you gotta go by that WWE verbiage. You never.
True.
You never know.
But, I mean, Baron was fine in this. I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Just saying, boo-hoo, it's fucking your last match. Blah blah blah. Like, you're fucking old school, man. I'm here now. I'm the fucking future. We don't want to hear from you anymore, and I'm gonna kick your ass. And that's all he needed to say, pretty much. So.
Yep. As much crap as he's gotten from social media and the crowd, he's done a great job, man. Like, he's taken it all in stride. He's been awesome.
I have never said anything bad about Baron Corbin as a person. Mm-hmm. I think he's fantastic.
Yeah.
I was telling Sean Grandy on an interview that came out yesterday that he's a student of the game. He's a very, very smart person. Mm-hmm. He's a hell of an athlete. He's a former Golden Glove champion, NFL football player. Puts his heart and soul into the business. Like, right. He's come a long way since he started.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And he's put a lot of work into his character and his promo this past year. You got to give him his credit for that. Like, I know he's fucked by being put in an impossible spot for being Kurt Angle's last opponent. Mm-hmm. But don't take it on him, the person.
Right.
Because he's done his job.
Right. Baron Corbin is a character on TV. You got to remember that.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Rey Mysterio came out to interrupt Corbin interrupting, which led to a match later on, which has could have serious implications on what happens this Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Good.
So we'll get into that here in a second. But now I want to talk about the Raw Tag Team Championship match, the Revival, the Raw Tag Team Champions taking on Aleister Black and Ricochet. It was a really, really good match.
Great match, yeah.
Not the outcome I expected. I actually thought maybe they'd pull a swerve and have Black and Ricochet win. Because how cool would it be for them to show up at NXT with the fucking Raw Tag Team titles?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. That would have been badass,
through my head too. Right? Yeah. But they didn't. But I do love the fucking finish because Wilder was hiding under the ring, and was it Ricochet?
Yes.
Ricochet jumped in the ring, or tried to jump in the ring.
Tried to jump in the ring. Yeah.
He got fucking tripped up and got his leg held or whatever, like by Wilder under the ring. I'm like, that's fucking beautiful.
Such a great old school heel.
Such
finish,
a great move. So yeah, that was really good. I love like just dastardly fucking like old school heel tactics, like ref distractions and like double switches and hiding under the ring. Like that's perfect shit. Like that's a lot of stuff you don't see nowadays. That's why it works for them, because they're like the throwback tag team. But it was a great way to keep them champions and keep Ricochet and Black strong by not by getting fucked over. So
yep, exactly.
I don't mind that kind of finish.
No, and the rival got to win on TV. What you think about it? So,
I'm sorry, Dawson was one under the ring. I get those fucking guys confused. My bad.
Oh, it was Dawson. Yeah, that's right. My fault. Yeah, it was
Dawson caught Ricochet's leg. But they hit their finishers after the match. Like Ricochet and Black always stand tall. They always end up hitting their finishers after the fact. And,
dude, Aleister Black went on a Black Mass killing spree. It's always so much fun when he does that, dude.
I'm worried of these two guys getting overexposed. They should be attractions. I don't like them being on every week.
I think once you split them up from the tag team, that'll help.
I hope.
Because it'll be kind of fresh again, because they're not a tag team. And anytime you see two guys split up like that and go their singles route, it kind of rejuvenates them again. So I would put them on different shows. I think you should do that. I would put Ricochet on SmackDown, and I would keep Aleister Black on Raw.
Yeah.
And
I was thinking the same thing. Like smaller guys, better, smaller wrestlers should be on SmackDown.
Right.
And the bigger, more name-worthy guys should be on Raw. Raw's always been a big man's fucking show. So
yeah, and they're just the personal fan in me. I want to see Ricochet and AJ, Ricochet and Daniel Bryan,
Ricochet and Ray. Ricochet and Andrade, Ricochet. And anybody. Yeah, I agree.
Plus,
Black should be more of an attraction to me.
Yeah.
You don't want to overuse his entrance too many times. Like, he should feel special.
For sure, yeah.
And he's that kind of a guy. Like, and they're just going to overuse him and overexpose him like they do everybody else. But
think of the first time that we see Aleister Black get somebody like Braun Strowman, where you're thinking, oh, he stands no chance, and then he hits Braun Strowman with like the biggest Black Mass kick you ever see in your life, and just drops him, and everybody's gonna be like, oh shit.
Exactly.
So
yeah, I agree. Next, we had Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair in a six-woman tag against, of course, the Riot Squad, because there's nobody else to fucking just beat up on. That's poor Riot Squad. I swear to God, dude. Why do they have to get fucking beat up every week? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, they're being fed to the top dogs right now.
They're pretty much dead. What do you do with them after all this shit goes down after WrestleMania?
Right. Do you have Ruby win the women's battle royal just to kind of somewhat save face?
Yeah.
You almost kind of have to at this point.
Right. It just fucking sucks, man. It does. They've gotten buried the last 6 months. I don't like to use the term buried a lot, but they literally have gotten fucking buried.
Yeah. And they did some really good stuff at the end of 2018. We were talking about it now. We were really impressed with them. And, and Ruby had a couple of really good matches with Natalya. They had the tables match that was really good. And then all of a sudden, just feeding them to the top three like they're nothing.
So stressful. It really is. It's stressful for me. And obviously, they put in this stupid stipulation, like if anybody turns on their fucking teammate, they're out of the WrestleMania match. I'm like, who gives a shit? Like, that's not going to happen. Like, why tease that? Like, they're not stupid. They hate each other, but they're smart business women. They're not going to fucking turn on each other and get kicked out of the biggest match of the year. Like, don't fucking insult our intelligence with that shit.
I heard somebody come up with a storyline for this, and I don't remember who it was. I wish I did, because it was brilliant. That they said something like, what they would have done is, as soon as this match starts, have Ronda beat the hell out of both Charlotte and Becky, and then walk up to Stephanie and go, what, are you going to fire me? Are you really going to kick me out of the match? Because I'm the one that's making this match happen. You're not going to pull me from this match.
Right.
and like just put her over even more as a heel. So like, that's when I heard that I was like, that is fucking genius, dude. But
that is genius. But they didn't.
They didn't go that way though.
They didn't go that way. So, the way they did go was so corny, dude. God damn. How many times have we seen stupid shit like this over the year?
They made it into a convoluted mess like they have this entire build.
After the bell rang, the match was over, so obviously all fucking bets are off. So they just started attacking each other, and they tried to break them up, and they couldn't break them up. The referees come down, and then cops come down? Why? Why didn't you have, like, house security or agents or, have somebody down there? You're going to bring the cops out.
Right.
Of course, what happens?
DC's finest, bro.
Yeah, DC's finest. They start beating the shit out of the indie cops. So
the indie cops. You're right. That's what it was.
So then they end up getting handcuffed and taken to the back. And this is where I had fallen asleep. I didn't see any of the fucking match. I'll be honest. I woke up exactly when they were in the back fighting each other in cop cars. I'm like, I literally thought I was dreaming. Like, this is the dumbest fucking shit I've seen in my life. Why am I dreaming this fucking bullshit? Like, I shouldn't have had that pizza before I went to bed. Like, but apparently it was real because they put Becky Ronda and Becky in the back of the same car.
Yeah.
And then it was cool because like they put Ronda in first and they put Becky in second, and then like they had the perfect camera shot of them looking at each other. Yeah. And just lock eyes and like
it was pretty funny. Yeah.
Oh fuck! Like, they just put it back in the same car.
Yeah, let's put two caged lions in the same cage. Yeah, that's smart.
So they start kicking each other, and then eventually Ronda like literally kicks out the window of the car and kicks like some of the fucking like window frame off of it, and then so they fucking pull Becky out, and then somehow they let Charlotte out for whatever reason.
Yeah, like she got free or something. Yeah.
Like they opened the door and let Charlotte out. I don't know why a cop would do that. And then Charlotte started kick Becky in the stomach, and they start fighting. And then somehow Ronda wiggled her ass into the front seat from the back, handcuffed, and hit the fucking gas and like rammed into the cop car in front of them. What the fuck? And then all of a sudden they take her out of the car and put her back in the back seat with the window busted. Mm-hmm. And then Charlotte comes up and Ronda's hanging out the window, and Charlotte hits her with a fucking like knee shot right to the face.
That was the funniest part of this whole thing because Ronda's like a Jack in the Box.
Yeah,
just kind of poked her head out and she was talking shit. All of a sudden, Charlotte comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, you know how many memes were made of that shit today? And somebody made a video to like I didn't look at it, but they did like a dance mix to it with fucking music and everything like of that knee like back and forth and rewind in slow motion and like. And then, oh god, it was really funny. Like
it was.
The internet blew up.
She was like, she poked her head out, was like yelling, talking shit, and then Charlotte comes out of nowhere and just knees her in the face.
Yeah, fucking great.
I know this was not supposed to be a comedy segment, but my god, dude, I was crying. I was crying. I was laughing so hard by the time this was over.
I went back and watched it again, and I'm like, yeah, it's funny, but it's fucking hokey. That's Vince McMahon 101, dude. Like
it was, yeah.
He must have like, I love this shit. God damn, that's the best thing I've ever done. It didn't do anything. Why? What's the point? Like, okay, so they get arrested, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, they got bailed out. Or what did Corey Graves say? Released on their own recognizance on Tuesday.
Right.
But I'm like, what if they didn't? Like, what if they got held up for arraignment and got prosecuted for, a simple assault on fucking police officers?
Yes, that's what they should have done.
And they don't make the main event. You know what I mean? Like
they should have went old school, like where they have like the telephone call over the speaker, and it'd be like the chief of police saying that the 3 women have held the police station up like ransom, like until they get released by Vince McMahon.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't get it. Apparently, you can assault indie cops nowadays and fucking get away with it, and destroy police property.
Right.
Yeah, I served in a grand jury one time. I know what the laws are. That's those are fucking felonies, man. You can't. That's Christ.
And we get it. We understand it's a show. Like we get it. Like, but man, like you can't beat up cops. You can't do
beat
that.
Up cops. You can't destroy police cars. You can't even commandeer a police car. That's another fucking. Right. That's another law broken. But
surprised one of them didn't jump out with a police uniform on, impersonating an officer.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Right.
Goddamn indie cops. And then Was it Wanda takes a picture of like a mugshot, but she's holding up a piece of paper.
Yeah, that was funny.
Making fun of Becky's mugshot. But I'm like, if she did get arrested, wouldn't she have a legit mugshot? Like, I don't know. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it was Ronda breaking that fourth wall again.
But
so.
yeah, it's just so dumb. I don't know. But that yeah, I mean that was people loved it. I didn't see it.
I was entertained because.
I mean, if you were entertained, that's cool. I don't know. Maybe I'm just old. It was too over the top for me. Like that shit would never happen in real life. They would literally be fucking put in jail.
At least none of them gave birth to a hand. That's all I gotta say.
That's true. But what kind of message do you send to kids? That's okay. Just fucking beat up indie cops and you won't fucking go to jail.
I can't get over the indie cops thing. That's gonna pop me every time.
I'm just saying it's such a bad example for the kids that are watching. I'm just saying. All right, kids. Let this be a lesson from your friends at the Rad Turtle Wrestling Podcast. Do not beat up indie cops. You will go to jail.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs and don't beat up indie cops.
Yeah.
So that's our advice.
All right.
Heavy Machinery against Bobby Roode and Chad Gable.
I guess Gable's back to being glorious again.
Yep. Didn't last long.
Yeah.
This match didn't really last long either. It fucking sucked. It was the drizzling shits for me.
Yeah, it was
why is this even on Raw? Like, none of them were even involved in anything heavy, heavy.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Yeah.
None of them were even involved in a program for WrestleMania, so what the fuck is the point of this?
I think they're all four in the Battle Royal, maybe. I know Heavy Machinery is, but the only thing I took out of this is that Bobby Roode looked really pissed off, so maybe they're going to be starting the heel turn soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's about all I took out of it.
Well, it sucked. So, I mean, there's not much to say about it.
Yeah, it was a 3-minute Raw tag team match.
And then we got Braun Strowman. Why? Why do we have to hype this stupid fucking Saturday Night Live bullshit every week? Nobody cares, dude.
No.
I don't care.
I'm over it. You know what? This actually, like, I want to see the Battle Royal, but just because I want to see these two guys get the holy hell beat out of them by Braun Strowman, like, actually happen. So
I agree, but I mean, I really don't think that's going to happen.
I don't either.
I don't think they can really do too much physical because it's going to make it look. They're going to make them look weak. They're not fucking wrestlers. It's gonna expose the business, like Roddy Piper like to say.
Now let me ask you: what if this match starts? Braun grabs both of them, power slams both of them. They sell it. He eliminates them. Like,
I mean, it would work for me.
Yeah, it worked for me too. Like, if they do that, okay. Like,
get them out of there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You've kind of gained my respect because you did part of the show what you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to run around like chicken shits the entire time and probably cost Braun getting eliminated.
Yep.
More than likely.
Yep. So Braun's on the ring. It's fucking, moment of bliss. And there's two fuckers from Saturday Night Live. I don't even know their names. I don't even care to know their names.
Michael Che and Colin Jost.
That's great. I still don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
The two fuckers from Saturday Night Live came on the screen and said, "Oh, we got fucking opponents for you guys," and then like two local jobbers come out. Like, really? Like,
it's always fun to see Strowman in a jobber match, though.
It is, but goddamn, what?
Because that's how we got the greatness of James Ellsworth once.
Yeah. Well, true. That's true. But this dude, it's such a waste of talent. It's just a waste of time.
It was. Yeah.
3-hour program. I know you got time to fill, but goddamn, between like indie cops and these fucking assholes coming out, like.
You know what? Give us another 5 minutes of the revival in Black and Ricochet. Why not?
Yeah, because at least that was fucking fantastic. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And I'll give Dawson credit, or Wilder, the one with fucking blonde hair, the guy with hair.
Yeah, Wilder.
Oh, I don't know why I can't tell them apart. They're like the fucking Usos to me. I don't even know. They don't even look alike. But I just
Dawson has the sweet beard.
Okay, yeah, I don't know why I can't remember that. Wilder tweets like, "We're the fucking top tag team and the top entertainment company in the world." And I'm like, that's kind of changing his tune from the way he's been tweeting the last few months. So
right.
I don't know if he's trolling everybody or.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. No, not at all. Like all of a sudden he just changes tune. Like, hey, we're happy to be here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't fucking know.
God, maybe he's thinking, well, if they're not going to push us, then we're going to push ourselves. We're going to say exactly what it is. So.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush came out for a promo, and then your buddy Finn comes out on the Unitron.
Yep.
And says he's going to be the demon. Well, hey, spoiler alert. Couldn't you just, wouldn't it be better? Why do they have to fucking talk about everything every week? Like, they announced Roman coming back from fucking cancer. Like, how great would it have been to Roman just show up?
Right.
Why they got to fucking tell you I'm going to be the demon?
How many
just
extra...
have the fucking lights go out and then have the fucking heartbeat playing and the red lights flash and all that, and people would have lost their fucking minds. But now you're going to tell us it's coming, so...
Yeah, I mean, what is this going to buy an extra 10 WWE Network purchases?
Right, yeah, no shit. I'm like,
not saying Balor's not over, but it's WrestleMania.
Right. It's WrestleMania. But there's no element of surprise anymore, and it really pisses me off. I'm really getting sick of them spoiling their own shit.
The only one I semi disagree with is the Roman thing, just because something that big, you might advertise that one ahead of time.
I don't know, but I think it would have had a greater effect if they're out in the ring and I'll just hear, did it.
I mean, it would have, and then people would be on their phones, oh shit, turn on Raw, Yeah,
like nobody expected him to be back. I mean, I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. It is.
But this one, I agree with you 100%. Why not just have him come out as the demon at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
The crowd would win. Fucking
keep us in anticipation on a cliffhanger, like which Finn are we going to get? Now we already know. So, I mean, it's great, but we're expecting it. So, there's no hype there.
Right. I would have had Bobby beat up Finn this week, and then like have Finn land in the middle of the ring and just like look up like this evil look on his face, like I'm tired of your shit.
Yeah.
And like kind of like, okay, he's going to another place or something.
Right. Yeah.
Then, it might be people said, okay, maybe we are getting it, and then when it does happen, people would just blow the roof off the place.
Instead, he just does it on video. Like, that's so lame. That's just, I don't know.
I didn't think it looked cool, but besides that, because I'm a big fan of the Demon.
Yeah, I know you are, and I am too, but I just don't like the way they handle it.
But then we get into what we've been talking about since the Royal Rumble. Why now?
Yeah, why now? Yeah.
Why against Bobby Lashley for the IC title? I mean, I get it's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But the Royal Rumble is one of the biggest shows of the year, too. You're facing the Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar.
In the biggest match of his life.
Yeah. Why are you not the Demon then? Because now people are thinking, oh, the only reason he wasn't the Demon is because he was losing. And that's in everybody's mind now. Okay, now he is the Demon. Okay, well, he's obviously going to win.
Yeah, you're right.
So.
Yeah. I mean, the Demon's been pretty protected. He's only lost once or twice. So.
Right. Yeah, and I think he lost once in NXT, something like that. I know he hadn't lost in the main roster. But
you're right. So it was probably when he lost the title.
Yeah.
And moved up.
You know what I would have done? I would have just went ahead and had him be the Demon at Royal Rumble and had him lose.
Yeah.
I mean, you did it with Asuka, her undefeated streak at Mania last year.
And that would have put Brock over even more. So.
Yep. And then, you wouldn't have had this mystique over the Demon that he's going to win every time.
Yep.
Okay, he's the Demon. He couldn't quite beat Brock Lesnar, but hey, he could probably beat Bobby Lashley, though.
Right.
But it still keep that doubt in everybody's mind.
Now we know he's going to kill Lashley. Like there's no surprises there. We could already predict that one. Hey, right. Finn's going to win. Yeah. I mean, like if Bobby beats the Demon, then I mean, who knows?
I hadn't even thought of that yet.
It could be the WrestleMania shocker, right?
I hadn't even thought about that. What if Bobby Lashley does beat the Demon? Then it's
it puts Lashley over huge.
It does, but God, it kills Finn Balor and the Demon, though.
He'd be dead.
It's different if he loses to Lesnar and Universal title.
Then he can go to 205 Live.
Oh, God. Please go to AEW.
Please, Finn. Please go to AEW. So, yeah, that led to the main event, if you want to call it that. Rey Mysterio against Baron Corbin, in which... I guess Ray did he got picked up in almost like an atomic drop position or inverted atomic drop, flipped over backwards over Baron's shoulder. It's just a typical, I mean, everybody does it. Like it's a typical spot they've done over the years.
He's done it for 30 years. Yeah.
And I guess he landed wrong and fucked up his ankle or his foot. So now it's unclear if he's going to be at WrestleMania this weekend. So hopefully he'll tape it up and be ready to go. But, yeah, that's shitty to happen, a week before WrestleMania.
Yeah, that sucks. Thankfully, he's going to be in there with a pro like Samoa Joe. So,
for sure.
Joe will take care of him. But Rey Mysterio is going to want to be Rey Mysterio. And if he's got a bad ankle, then that's going to be hard for him to fly around.
Yeah, that sucks for Rey to be in a prominent match like that for the U.S. title. So,
Better have John Cena on speed dial just in case.
Yeah, you did mention that to me this morning, so it could be. You could be right.
Yeah, I know they're saying that Cena already has something planned, but if Ray can't go, then I almost feel like you got to put Cena in, because they were talking about Cena and Joe anyways.
He already admitted he's going to be there, like in New York City for the weekend. So
yeah, he's already there. Yeah,
why wouldn't he show up?
Right. But yeah, this sucks about Mysterio though, like, because this is what he wanted. This is why he came back. He wants that big yeah, and he wants that big WrestleMania moment again to go out there and beat Rey Mysterio. And God, I hope this is just a temporary setback. He rests it all week, and hopefully he's good to go. If I had to guess, he's going to go. I mean, you probably have to cut his foot off to keep him from going.
Yep. Surprising he get caught with a deep six for the finish. They didn't put over the end of days at all, but
yeah,
putting him over with his secondary move, his signature move, that's a little weird.
Yeah, I kind of like it just because I think nowadays wrestlers should have a secondary that can win them matches. Because like we see Kofi use the SOS sometimes for victories. Yeah,
that's true.
And I like it because it keeps it, keeps the suspense up a little bit. Because if somebody hits you with that, it's possible he could win with it. But if somebody kicks out every single time, then it's just a setup move. Yeah. So pretty cool. I like it. I like it that he did. It works.
I like it. All right. Well, that's what we thought of Raw. So let's get into this week's SmackDown Live. Yeah, not really excited about the show either, especially for SmackDown, which has been hot lately. It was pretty much the promo show. There wasn't really much.
It was very promo heavy
in way of great wrestling. It was very promo heavy, which is fine. I mean, I guess but for a show that's usually known for its wrestling, Raw. It seemed to be that Raw had more wrestling this week than SmackDown.
Right. Yeah, but it's the last show before Mania, so it always is super promo heavy.
Yeah.
But I did think they'd have a little more wrestling than they did. But yeah, lots of promos this week. Some good ones, but
some good ones. Just like this one we're gonna play for you here in a second to lead up the show is the KO show. Good to see Kevin Owens back and on the show, but not in a program at WrestleMania. Like, what the fuck?
Weird, yeah. Like 2 months or a month ago, 2 months ago, he was in a world title match, and all of a sudden now he's not even on the card.
Yeah, he might be in the Battle Royal. I don't know. Like,
right? Yay.
yeah, exactly. It's Kevin Owens, man. Like, why would you come back early?
I think he should host the show with Alexa Bliss. I think they would have awesome chemistry together.
And just have him show up and they're like, I had nothing else to do, so I thought I'd just grab a mic, come out here with you.
Right. That'd be great. I'd love to see that.
And all of a sudden she's acting heelish again?
Yeah, no, it's
like it's on and off. Like, I don't know what she's supposed to be. Like,
yeah, I guess there's like, she's just Alexa Bliss, I guess.
On Raw, she's pretty much playing the face, and then she showed up on SmackDown, the main announcement, and it was kind of heelish. Like,
yeah.
And who is she to make announcements? Like,
right, she's not the GM.
She's the host, but I don't know. It's just weird. Anyway.
Well, I guess we make our own rules on our show because we're the hosts.
Yeah,
but,
that's a good point. That's a good point. But no, this was a KO show with AJ Styles and Randy Orton, and I just love the back and forth that they had. So I thought this was perfect to show our promo of the week here for SmackDown.
Now, Randy, last week everyone was really looking forward to what would have been Kurt Angle's last match ever here on SmackDown Live against AJ Styles, but you did not let that happen, did you? And now I can obviously see the little smirk on your face, so I must ask, are you proud of what you did?
Hell yeah, I'm proud. I saved the WWE Universe from seeing a washed-up, old, broken-down former Olympian beat a guy who thinks he's still at the top of his game. You know what else I saved the WWE Universe from? Watching the match.
Really? This coming from a guy who's been here almost 20 years, been in the ring with legends, and has learned one move.
When you got a move that is that deadly, all you need is one, AJ, but you wouldn't get that, would you? You'd never get that. You people wouldn't get it either. But you know what you think? You all think that these indie guys have it so hard. traveling around the world, traveling around the country, trying to make a name for themselves, trying to make ends meet for them families, going from high school gymnasium to high school gymnasium to armory, back to high school gymnasium, making $50 and trying to impress dozens and dozens of fans. You know what I was doing while you were doing all that? I was wrestling at WrestleMania almost for the past 2 decades, every single year, in front of tens and tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of people.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. When I was in high school gyms and wherever it may be, wrestling in front of dozens of people, you were in the WWE.
That's right.
Getting suspended for failing drug tests.
The truth is, AJ, if you were as good as you think you are, you would have been in the WWE a long, long, long time ago. You think that your legacy is that hard work pays off? No, that's not your legacy. You want to know what your legacy is? I'm going to tell you what your legacy is. Now that John Cena has gone off to Hollywood, you have assumed the role of corporate.
I fucking love KO.
Yeah, me too.
Randy just calls him a fucking corporate bitch, and he's like, "Oh shit, they're about to rumble. I'm getting the fuck out of here." And he just leaves, puts down his mic, stands up, looks at the camera, and walks through the ropes, and he's gone. And then they start fighting. Like that's just the perfect Kevin Owens moment right there.
I did think Styles had the best line though when he told Orton that yes, Styles was wrestling in gymnasiums, but Orton was in WWE getting suspended for failing drug tests.
Love it, yeah.
Oh,
so good. That was so good. I did like what Randy said, about like, you indie guys have it so tough, wrestling in gymnasium to armories and for hundreds of people, and then. Yeah, but no, I love their just verbal jabs back and forth. They've been really, really good.
It's been fun.
I've enjoyed this whole program, honestly.
It shows how simple it could be. Like you don't need cops involved and all this stuff. Just have two guys,
right? Yeah.
Just have 2 guys go out there, just make, work shoot comments to each other, and hey, there you go. Now these 2 guys hit each other.
That's a really great point, Jeff. Like the women, we already know they're in the main event. They're 3 of the biggest women in the company, arguably. Mm-hmm. Why all the fucking shenanigans?
Yeah.
Compared to this, like you said, it's so fucking simple.
So simple.
And there's so much anticipation built up for these 2 great fucking wrestlers, like this dream match.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do much. And you're right. They got fucking cops and robbers on goddamn fucking Monday Night Raw. And then you just have this little just verbal repartee back and forth. Like, I thought it was great. And you're right. It's a tale of 2 shows, and how the fact that women's main event has just been so overbooked.
Yeah.
But then something like this hasn't, and I'm just as excited about this as I am the women's main event.
Yeah, me too. And it's the story of the indie wrestler who worked his ass off to get to where he is against the guy that has earned to where he's gotten, but has been the WWE guy for a long time.
Yeah, and I love that line. Like, you say hard work pays off, but like you should have been here. Fucking, if you were that good, you should have been in the WWE a long, long time ago. And
right.
Like, that's fucking great.
And really, that's what makes this one so good is they're both making good points that are true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not saying that
it's not like they're making shit up, right? Yeah.
Right. Not saying that AJ wasn't good back then, but they're all both making points. You're like, okay, yeah, I can kind of see that. All right.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm excited. Like I'm looking forward to this match, and there's nothing on the line, just pride. And
I think it should start the show.
I think so. I think it's gonna be an exciting match. I think, I definitely think this should be the opener.
I agree. It's gonna be a lot better than what Randy did a few years ago with fucking worms and snakes and shit all over the fucking ring. Like,
yeah, but we also got Orton in an opener against Seth Rollins once, and that match was awesome.
That's good. That's
when he hit that lifting RKO, which is still like one of my favorite moments ever.
Or him and Punk at WrestleMania in Atlanta.
That was good too. Yeah,
really good match, jumping off
Orton's had some big non-title matches at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he has.
He really has.
Punk springboard off the top rope into RKO, like that's fucking great.
Orton, I never really thought about it. Orton has really memorable matches at Mania that really don't have anything behind it.
Yeah, I mean he's that good of a wrestler.
He puts on good matches. Yeah. I respect that for sure.
I can't even think of like a bad match he's had. Like maybe him against fucking
he and Bray like really.
Yeah, true. But what's the little faction he was in with DiBiase and Rhodes?
Legacy.
Legacy. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was okay.
That's okay, but other than that, yeah, you're right. He's had really, really good WrestleMania match. He could be Mr. WrestleMania Jr. I mean,
he had arguably one of Taker's best matches. He and Taker had an incredible match, which I thought he was the best candidate to end the streak. But like he was 24 years old and
he was soaring his oats and he was on top of the company and the youngest WWE champion, all that shit. Yeah,
Legend Killer. I still love that Legend Killer gimmick, dude. He was
so good too. Yeah, I agree. That was good. But and this segment was great. So
it was. Yeah,
it's a good way to open the show, and it should open WrestleMania.
Yeah, man, you make it really. I love what you said that he could be like Mr. WrestleMania Jr. or maybe even the current Mr. WrestleMania.
Yeah,
because he shows up, he puts on fucking great matches at WrestleMania every time.
Yep, absolutely. He's a pro, man. He's got it in his blood.
He is. Oh, for sure.
He's a fucking Orton, man. That's the bloodlines go 50 years. So.
Yep. And when he retires and he gets a backstage role, it's going to help everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he has such a great mind for the business as well.
Don't help people cut promos because he's not.
He's even showing now he can cut out a decent.
I think if you keep it simple and don't overscript him. Yeah.
Don't let him go out there and talk for 15 minutes.
Just give him bullet points, man. He's good to go. Yeah. Next we had the Usos against Aleister Black and Ricochet against The Bar against Rusev and Shinsuke. What is with these fucking multi-man matches? Like they're going crazy for him lately.
Yeah.
Every goddamn show has 2 or 3 multi-person matches.
I guess just getting the crowd ready to make sure they know who everybody is because they're going to be seeing him at Mania too. I don't know, but yeah, a lot of multi-person matches for sure.
I don't get it. I mean, hey, Usos got the fucking win. Like they're the champions. They got put over strong against these really good tag teams. So that's one good thing you can say about it.
Yeah, because we see the Revival lose all the time except for title matches.
Yeah. And then we get Alexa Bliss, which is what I was alluding to earlier. She comes out and kind of cuts a heel promo that the Usos were so brave and so courageous and so great for laying down, for Kofi last week or for Big E and Xavier last week. But now you're going to deal with the repercussions of it. And like, who the fuck is she is this coming from, like, she could have said, this is straight from, the boss's mouth, from Vince McMahon's mouth. Didn't even mention it. Like, no. That would have been fine. Like, I would have been okay with that.
Yeah. Was Vince not there this week or something? Or because Vince is the one that should have came out and made that announcement.
He should have. And instead it was Alexa. Weird. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It didn't make any sense. So she said that at WrestleMania, they're going to be defending their tag team titles against everybody they just fought in this match. So maybe we'll see fucking Ricochet and Black win the SmackDown Tag Team Champions this weekend. You never know.
Possibly. I made the joke last week that I could see them being a double champion by the end of Mania.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd be the Raw titles.
And what kills me is how can you be number one contenders on both shows? Like that says a lot for those guys.
Right. And I think we joked about that too. Like
that's never happened before.
Yeah, we said something like, they've been on both shows beating everybody. They might as well go for both tag team titles. I didn't think they were actually going to do it. But
can you imagine if they would have won them all? Like we're just the fucking best in the company.
Dude, that'd have been awesome.
That's the world, like we're triple fucking tag team champions
on all 3 brands. Dude, that would have been great.
Right?
I would have done that. Like I would have actually pulled the trigger on that.
I would have too, because that's we're genius bookers. So
right.
But this wasn't bad for what it was. The match was all right. It wasn't.
Yeah, the match was fun. Yeah,
it was typical WWE formula, but the Bliss thing just kind of threw me off there. I kind of took away from a little bit, but other than that, it was solid.
It was 8 good wrestlers. Yeah. You can't go wrong with that.
And then we get the Iconics. God damn, they're really trying to get these women over. They really are. I was gonna say bitches.
I love them though.
I was gonna say bitches because they do act like bitches.
That's their gimmick. Their gimmick is they are bitches.
But I don't want people to think it wrong. Like they're trying to get these bitches over. Like it's negative. But bitches be crazy.
Bitches be crazy. Bitches be iconic, man.
Yeah, bitches be iconic. They are. They've been working hard the last month or so, like trying to get them over, which is okay with me. I just don't think they're that good in the ring.
They're really not.
No, they're really not. Like there's nothing spectacular about them. Like I think fucking Mandy and what's her fucking name? What's her name? Sonya Deville are fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, they should be in that spot.
But they don't have the charisma that the Iconics do.
Really?
I don't think.
Really?
Mandy kind of. Sonya doesn't.
She could.
The Iconics got charisma, though.
They've never given Sonya a chance, really. I don't even remember her cutting any promos.
Maybe that's
Except
because
for when she was with Paige.
She doesn't quite have the charisma yet.
I don't know. I mean, I guess
it's a bold statement, but I do think the Iconics have a lot of charisma.
But this did nothing for me.
No, but they're gonna be in the title match at Mania. So I mean, yeah, you got to show everybody.
All right, so we had the Miz out next. Miz cut another great promo, man. He said he's fought for to try to get his dad's attention before, but now he's fighting for his honor. I'm like, I swear to God, dude, I'm telling you, I've been calling this for 2 months now. His fucking dad's playing a part in this match. I don't care what anybody thinks. Like, if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be so pissed because that's such a waste. It's such a lost opportunity if they don't involve his dad, good or bad, whether he turns or not. Like, he should be involved in this finish, and hopefully he is.
I agree. And I've been kind of back and forth on it, but you stood by that horse the entire time.
Yeah, I'm going down with that fucker.
You should, because the closer it gets, the more it's like, and they keep mentioning him. We haven't seen him, which is good because out of sight, out of mind, I guess.
Right.
Maybe.
But he hasn't talked about him every promo, and he's made it a point. So don't drive that point home if you're not going to pay it off.
And I think they did say that he's going to be in the front row, didn't they? Like last week or the week before?
I don't remember.
I don't remember they did. For some reason, I could be making that up. But
you may be right, but he will. He's got to play a part. Like, that's such a payoff, dude. Win or lose, he's got to be involved in this just to fucking wrap it up, put the fucking bow on it. Because I don't know if they're going to do anything after this. They should. If they go my way and his dad turns, fuck yeah, dude. That's setting up for a great run, for the next couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't, and Miz gets his comeuppance, Shane gets his comeuppance, and Miz gets the win, and his dad gets the feel good moment. What do you do after that? Like, to me, it's over. Like, that's the blow off.
Right. I mean, you can't really put Miz in the title picture, not if they're going what we think is the obvious way with the title.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess you could do him and Samoa Joe for the U.S. title, but.
He's good at making the Intercontinental title relevant. I mean, he can make the U.S. title.
That's true. I think babyface Miz is going to be a shorter term thing than we think.
See, I think the opposite.
Really?
And I'll tell you why. He's fucking fantastic right now. Like,
he is.
You can't end his steam that quickly. Like, he's finally getting that babyface run that they wanted out of him, just to prove that they could get it out of him, to prove that he could do it. I don't see you ending that train right now. Not with his wife being pregnant again with another child, and Ms. and Mrs. being on TV. It's a great fucking show. If you haven't watched it, you guys need to watch that show.
I watched the season premiere the other night. Yeah,
it's really so good. It is so good. They're so funny together. Yeah. He's a great dude. Like,
he's so likable.
He's likable. He's endearing. He's a goofy guy, but he's awesome. Like, I want to hang out with him. Like, the Miz is fucking money, dude. Miz equals money.
And he is so whipped with his wife.
Yeah, he is.
For good reason.
But she's fucking hot. God damn, she's hot. And then they live with her mother. Like, it's a fucking great show. You guys have to go out of your way to watch it on USA or on Hulu or whatever the fuck you guys watch it on. And so I can't see ending Miz's steam right now because he's got so much going towards him. We've seen the heel Miz for the better part of his career. You know what I mean? For the last 12 years or whatever. Let him have his fucking bona fide face run. Give him the goddamn title against Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. If Daniel keeps the title this weekend, like, get him that solid, because he fucking deserves it.
I agree.
He really has. I told you, he's John Cena Jr. He's the fucking company guy. He puts in all the time, does all the promos, does all the charity work, does all the fucking TV appearances, works his ass off for that company, and he has been.
Doesn't put on a bad match.
Never, dude. He might be soft. He might work a soft style and not be that snug, but he's safe.
Yeah.
And he takes care of people.
Yeah.
And he doesn't put on bad matches. I thought he was a great champion the first time he won the title. And then he just lost all his steam. But, dude, I'm telling you, this is the fucking year of the Miz. I'm putting my fucking... I'm leading the fucking charge for Miz. I'm the fucking conductor of the goddamn Miz train, and we're taking this bitch all the way to SummerSlam at least.
Right.
So.
You got me convinced. You do. And the more I think about it, are we done with the Miz and Daniel Bryan yet?
Nah, dude, there's so much meat.
I mean, you're never done with those two.
No, there's so much meat left in the bone. Like, he even said, like, he's had an 8-year fucking build up to him and Daniel Bryan on Miz and Mrs. this week when they fought at SummerSlam. He's like, this is 8 years in the making from when they first came out in NXT together, and he was his fucking mentor. Like, dude, there's plenty of meat left in that bone to have a title run with Bryan, if that's the way they go.
I like it.
Yeah,
like you're dead on. You're dead on, bro.
But Daniel could get it back next month. It could be a short reign for Kofi, but I love Miz and Bryan again at SummerSlam for the title. Book it all day fucking long, brother. Miz is fucking funny.
You know what? And people 6 months ago, you would not imagine it would be heel Daniel Bryan against face Miz.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Nobody would ever have
I didn't even give a fuck about Miz, period, but no. I am sold, man. I'm making a t-shirt. Miz is money. Vince, Miz is money. Make the fucking t-shirt, dude. Put it on WWE Shop. I'm going to buy one.
Well, we gotta
Actually, no, you're going to give me one for giving you the fucking idea. So.
Well, we got to be careful because Mella is money, too. So.
Mella. What's Mella doing right now?
Yeah, but that's kind of her thing. You gotta be careful. I mean, if we heard somebody say two skinny guys talking wrestling, we'd be pretty pissed off.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, that's a good point. I don't know. I still think Vince is money. Book it, Vince. Put it on the shirt.
Do it.
Flex. Anyway,
okay.
So
yeah, great point. Great points, though, bro. Like I love it, and you're right. Miz. I hope they go that direction. I hope we get Miz and Bryan sooner than later because, like you said, there's still plenty there, and they really didn't have a big blow off or anything when they did have their feud when Bryan came back from the injury or from the concussion.
You got a heel shitty win from Maurice with the foreign object.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could totally keep on going with that.
Right.
But at this point, so the one thing I have a problem with is the way they booked him on the show. Like, Shane's being heel Shane and putting all kinds of shit against him to see what he can take. So we knew going in it was going to be a handicap match with him against Sandy. But then they made it. Shane came out and said it was a fucking false count anywhere, and I'm like, why? Like, why would you put him in the same match that you're going to have with him on Sunday? Like,
I guess to soften him up.
Yeah, but that's overusing the gimmick. Like, really gimmick matches are special. They should only be used once.
And we have more than one at Mania.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, using the same gimmick, the same type gimmick match on SmackDown that you're going to have on Sunday doesn't make any sense. But they made Miz like a total badass. And I'm like, when has he ever been a badass? That's the one thing I took exception to. Like, I understand getting him over strong and getting the win with a brutal spot where he fucking took this cart and ran it into fucking Eric Young's face. Like, he got outside the ring and, like, literally outside, like, the building and got the pin. And then he just sat there looking all fucking just badass, like he was stone cold. Like, I don't fucking know, man. Like, he's never been an ass kicker. Like, It was really weird to put him in that spot.
It was. And we saw this last week or the week before.
Like, he's also the fucking Marine, like
right, exactly. Yeah.
Like, what the
fuck? Yeah, we saw that when they had their first face-to-face when, Sanity and Shelton Benjamin and Primo came out and Miz took them all down and took them all out.
Yeah,
it's like okay,
it was
impressive.
Yeah.
It was impressive, but that's not the Miz. That's not what the Miz does,
Right. But yeah, he's like the fucking acting like the Marine from the movie. That's great.
God, they made Sandy look bad though, didn't they?
It does. It really does. And I'm excited to see them back on TV. But yeah,
I love them, man. I hate that they're just nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What are you gonna do? Next, we had Becky Lynch in what I thought was going to be a great promo, and it was just average for me. I don't know if it's her accent that I kind of get lost in. Like, I don't know. Like, I like the point that she drove home. Like, she got up, she took the mic away from Corey Graves, who looked like shit, by the way.
Yeah, he may have woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
I don't know if he was tired or whatever, but he looked pretty disheveled. And, like, maybe it's the beard that he has now, or I don't know, like...
There was something off. There was something off on him this week, yeah.
He just didn't look excited either. I don't know. Maybe he's just been working too hard, but...
spending too much time with Carmella.
Yeah, maybe. But Becky took the mic from him and walked up on top of the announce table and just cut the promo, to her people, to the crowd, which I liked. I actually liked that aspect of it. But what she said really didn't... I mean, they had to try to heat her up a little bit because she has been cooling off lately. So I guess in that sense, it helped her a little bit. to try to get a little bit over with the crowd. Like, I mean, she's over with the Twitter crowd, but is she really over with the crowd that are there? It's two different worlds.
Yeah.
But I thought it was okay. It wasn't fantastic. Like I said, maybe I just can't get behind her because of the accent or whatever. Because I don't know, not I love you people in Ireland. I'm sorry, I have nothing to say about your accents or whatever. But to me, just being used to American speakers all the time, I have to like stop and like listen closer and pay attention because sometimes I can't tell what she's saying.
Yeah, her accent.
She has a really thick accent.
Yeah.
But her point pretty much was, what a difference a year makes. Last year we had, me and Charlotte kicking ass, and then you had Ronda, about to make her debut in WWE in the main event, or not the main event, but with Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. And, me slapping Charlotte last year, started this whole, they love using that word, revolution.
Right.
Started this whole revolution. And now a year later, you have the three best women in the company going in the main event. So I do like that, and I like the fact that she's going to finish what she started, and I'm going to be the champion that I should have been all along.
Mm-hmm.
So I like her message. It just didn't really get me more excited than I already am, or not. It didn't make me change my mind about the match at all.
Yeah, I kind of feel like with this one, we're kind of at the point where we are with Batista and Triple H.
I'm just worn out, man.
Yeah, like we're there. Like we're
there. Yeah,
we're
we
ready.
Get it. We get it. Yeah.
I did think this was one of her better promos she's done because
for sure.
Because really, we haven't heard her talk as much as the other one. Charlotte gets mic time all the time. Ronda's doing all her stuff on social media. This is the first time we kind of seen Lynch by herself
in a while, because usually it's been part of like a multi-person segment, or she gets interrupted by Stephanie, or just she's had kind of like quick kind of bullet point interviews.
Yeah.
So you're right. This kind of was her first moment to herself to address the universe.
Yeah, and I thought she was real here. Like this is the first promo I've seen her like really just I can't
not
think
act like a badass, but actually
she acts like a person. Like and
now you're winning me over to it. Now the way you're talking about it, you're making me feel better about it, which is good.
This is perfect. This is what she needed because we talked about last week that Charlotte's the SmackDown champion now, Ronda's the Raw champion, Becky. She's kind of just there, like
I know, right? All of a sudden, she's you're right. Yeah.
Even though she, a month, 2 months ago, she was the hottest thing in the company, which she still is in a way, I guess.
That's with the fucking marks, dude.
Right, but this helped her out a lot, and this kind of put her up there, saying like she's ready and she knows what's going on, and she's coming for the titles. So I thought it was pretty good, and it's what she needed to do going into Mania, because this is gonna be what everybody remembers.
Yeah,
is this promo. So
what they're not gonna remember is the 18-person mixed tag team match that we had coming after that.
Oh, there was only 18 people.
Yeah, only 18. I don't think they had anybody else to put in this fucking thing. Everybody else has been on the show already. Let's see. R-Truth, Heavy Machinery, the Hardy Boys, Carmella, Naomi, Asuka, and Nikki Cross. Apparently Nikki is a face again. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
She's back and forth every week. They took on EC3, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Andrade. Poor Andrade getting stuck in this bullshit.
I know.
Shelton Benjamin, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Lana, and Selena Vega in the largest mixed tag team match in WWE history. On a fucking SmackDown.
So I guess the Good Brothers are heels again.
I didn't know they weren't.
I guess they're on the heel side. So
I don't know. Each star took turns eliminating each other, culminating with Asuka dumping Jeff Hardy and standing tall. Yay for Asuka. I mean, does that do anything? Where's all the Asuka deserves better now? Like, I haven't heard shit in the last week. Like, that was just one day where everybody got pissed off.
It's because everybody listened to our podcast and they realized we were right.
Yeah, because you didn't want her in a meaningless fucking blow-off match that no one's going to remember at WrestleMania.
Right.
Right. Bam. Suck a dick.
Yeah, I mean, this was just trying to get everybody out there that's in the Battle Royals, and all right, cool.
It was all right. So, yeah. What I did like was Ali against Samoa Joe. I thought it was a pretty decent match. Not a great match, but good enough. Long. It didn't go long, but it's good enough to put Joe over as the badass. Like, we all know he is. Like, it's finally, they loved. See, that's the funny thing about Joe. They love to give him fucking steam, and just beat up everybody leading up to a pay-per-view, and then he doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this will be his moment to fucking beat Ray if Ray's ready to go, and get a big win at WrestleMania. Because it's big. It's bigger for Joe to win this match than it is for Ray, because Ray's done.
It really is, yeah. And, you know, I've been 50-50 on this match, which we'll talk about predictions on Sunday.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're right. Joe needs the win. He needs the win. He needs to show he's this badass again because he's lost a lot of matches since he became United States champion.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I'm like, okay, are they going to go with Ray and Andrade? And do they want the U.S. title to be a part of that feud too? So
I've been preaching that for weeks now. So yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not saying who's going to win, but we're saying Joe should win. I'm not saying he's going to.
Right.
But
and I agree. Joe totally should win this match.
In order, for career implications at this point in their careers, being at two opposite. Well, I mean, not really two opposite ends. Joe's getting up there too. But still, I think he's got a little bit more of a run left than Ray. Joe needs to win, but I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet if he's going to. But I thought this was good to make him look like a badass against fucking Ali, has zero fucking steam. Like the Ali trade is dead. Besides losing half his name, he lost his fucking reputation now too.
I hate that. And the injury, God, it couldn't have came at a worse time for him.
And he shouldn't have to suffer because of the injury, but that's just the way shit happens.
Right. I just think it's more they got nothing for him right now. Everything is booked, and
it happened to Finn too when he beat Seth to be the first Universal Champion, and he got hurt.
Yeah.
They didn't do shit with him when he came back. So I mean, it's not like they're getting punished for it, but it's just fucking wrong time, man.
It is.
They've already moved on. You have to move on.
Yeah, you have to for sure. And I thought about this a little bit. I wonder how different this WrestleMania would look if Roman wouldn't have left with leukemia, and if Ali wouldn't have got hurt when he did.
Right.
I wonder what our two big matches would have been this year.
Roman and Brock, I'm sure.
Either that or Roman and either Seth, maybe Dean, possibly if Dean wasn't leaving. But I think Ali would have been in that title match.
Yeah.
Or maybe Kevin Owens. I don't know. It wouldn't have been Kofi for sure.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
Yeah, man. It's if those two things wouldn't have happened, I'm really surprised. I'm really curious of what the card would have looked like this year.
Yeah. To end the show, we had the contract signing for the WWE Championship match between Daniel Bryan, the champion, and Kofi Kingston, with the New Day in his corner. I love the fact that Big E was dancing during the entire fucking segment.
The entire segment.
The entire segment. Xavier was the more serious one, fucking tell him. And then Big E's just the one dancing, doesn't matter what's going on. But Brian cut his little promo first. Why was Cole there? He's not even on SmackDown. Why did he officiate this contract?
Because it's WrestleMania season, and you can cross over as much as
he gets a fucking payday for being in the last segment of the show. So
what's a bigger deal, Michael Cole being on SmackDown or the Iconics being on Raw?
I guess Michael Cole being on SmackDown because he's earned that spot, even though people give him shit. He's been there for almost fucking 20 years.
That's fair.
And he is the lead commentator on Raw. And I mean, he's the face of the WWE when it comes to commentary. He's the voice of WWE. And say what you want. And again, going back to what Sean Grande and I talked about, he was put in a fucking horrible spot, having to follow JR, the greatest of all time.
Nobody could follow JR.
And of course, he got shit for it. It's in no fault of his own. He got put in that position.
Yeah.
But he took the ball and ran. People might think Cole sucks compared to JR. I beg to differ. JR, in my mind, can't keep up with the current WWE product with all it's not about telling a story in the ring anymore with your announcers and really putting people over. It's not calling the moves anymore. It's more about plugging all your shit.
Right.
And trying to get what you need to get over in that segment.
Mm-hmm.
And with all the stuff that Cole has to plug and talk about and push and getting yelled at in his fucking ear all the time, he's handled it fantastically. He really has. Take his fucking stupid heel run away. He's been a solid goddamn commentator. And I don't think anybody else could have been put in that position and ran with it like he did. He's a very talented and very smart individual.
I would probably go as far to say nobody's been bitched at more from Vince McMahon than Bruce Pritchard and Pat Patterson.
Yeah.
And then Michael Cole.
Except Michael Cole, yeah.
Yeah.
And no one's ever taken the shit from everybody else, all the fans, than Michael Cole has either. Yeah. He kept his chin up through the whole thing.
Right.
And it shows. So by having him in this segment, like he's the authority, like he's the trusted person in WWE to handle this segment. Mm-hmm. That's how I took it.
Right.
Like,
and back, this was a while ago, but you brought it up though, when he was the heel commentator, heel play-by-play never works.
No.
Never works.
But I actually enjoyed it.
He at least somewhat made it work. And
I enjoyed it. I didn't like it when Josh Matthews did it. I thought it sucked.
No, he wasn't good at it.
But no, you're right. Cole actually made it entertaining. And maybe because Jerry was so good to work with.
Yeah.
But like him and Rock going back and like Cole and Rock going back and forth in the ring, like fucking entertaining, dude.
Right.
Like
even when JR turned heel, it didn't work.
No, it didn't.
But of course JR was loved by everybody more than Cole.
Good point.
But Cole, I mean, he did. I mean, people say he was annoying. Well, that's what he was supposed to be.
That's what he got paid to do.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, kudos. I mean, we could go on about Michael Cole a lot, but he doesn't get.
Good, and I don't think he gets the attention that he deserves.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do understand why he was put in the spot now that I think about it. So, and kudos to Daniel Bryan, dude. Man, I thought he took the ball and ran during this like he always does. He just sat there and just belittled and berated Kofi, trying to educate everybody. Like his choice of words and his pacing, his timing.
Yeah.
God damn, Bryan does not get enough credit.
No.
His whole body of work. Like a lot of people didn't see the indie stuff they did and the Ring of Honor stuff and the Dragon Gate or the fucking Japan stuff. Like, dude's been money in the ring for years, but nobody ever really thought he was a great promo.
Right.
And he kind of wasn't when he first came in with the NXT show. But once he started being himself, he really got good.
He did. And this is nothing against Kofi because Kofi's been great. And he's really ran with the ball when it comes to this spot he's been elevated to.
Yeah, for sure.
But you listen to the crowd chanting Kofi, Kofi constantly. A lot of it isn't just because they love Kofi. It's because they hate Daniel Bryan so much because of how much he's just berating them and talking about how they're not good enough. And
he never lost any steam during his promo, even with all the interruptions with the Kofi chants and all that.
Yeah.
He never once broke character. He never once lost his cool. They started chanting asshole, and he's like, that's what they've called every great person over the years that tells the truth. Like, that was a fucking great line, dude.
Yeah.
That was so good. And I'm sure that was improvised, but that just shows his talent. And you're right, Kofi was great, and I wanted to play this promo, but I thought Kofi just came off a little. I guess he looks weak compared to Bryan. I guess most people do. But I just felt like Kofi was heavily scripted, and he was intense.
Yeah,
but I just felt like it was just clear, like Vince McMahon or clear WWE writing from what was coming out of his mouth. And when he got interrupted by the crowd, he kind of repeated the same line again, like almost to pick up his place where he left off in his mind.
Yeah,
to keep his thought going. Like, to me, I hate that technique, and I felt like that's what he did. So to me, it came across as forced, and to no fault of his own. But I thought Daniel just completely outshined him in this moment, and that's why I didn't play the promo because I don't think Kofi was that great.
See, they did something kind of similar to this a couple weeks ago when it was right before Fastlane when Vince pulled Kofi from the match, where Daniel Bryan was sitting behind a table, but Bryan didn't say a word, and Kofi pretty much said everything, and he came off really well. Yeah. Like that's when you kind of really started getting behind him. But yeah, just going against Bryan with how natural he is, just it is, like I said, no fault to Kofi's. Yeah. It's just Bryan is so natural as a talker now and so believable that Kofi would have had to pretty much give the best promo of his career, to be up there with Bryan with this. And just I thought like I said, I'm with you. I thought Kofi showed a lot of intensity, but it just. You're right. Daniel Bryan kind of outshined him in this promo just because, no fault to Kofi, just because Bryan is so damn good.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. But all in all, I mean, we're already fucking sold in this match. Like this may have just showed us how great Bryan still is. But to me, it didn't add or take away anything from my excitement and my anticipation for the match. I understand why they have to end the show that way. But I'm already all in for this match. Like it didn't matter what they said in the interview, like in their promo to me. Like I'm already there. Like you said, like you said, we're already fucking there. Like not just this match, but every other goddamn program on the 19-hour show. We're just ready for it to get here and get over with.
At this point, you're kind of just adding hours to Mania.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
right.
You know, because we know we got 7 hours of Mania coming up, and we're like, okay, now we got to get through a Raw and a SmackDown too.
And don't get me wrong, I'm excited for WrestleMania. I can't wait.
Me too.
Not only just because I get to watch it with you, but because it's WrestleMania. But I'm more excited for that Raw and SmackDown after. I want to see what comes out of all this. I want to see the shakeup. You know, after that, like, let's just get past WrestleMania and see what the future holds. Because fuck if I know what's going to happen.
Right. To be fair, though, I hope this isn't the case this year. I've been a little underwhelmed with the post-Raw and SmackDown the last couple of years.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. So, kind of hope they do something a little special this time. I don't know what it would be.
They haven't done shit with the build-up for WrestleMania, so you're right. I hope they don't let us down after the fact. Because, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But
right. I am really glad they closed the show with this promo, though.
Oh, for sure.
I thought this was the best thing to close the show, and the visual of Kofi standing there intense and Bryan sitting there super chill, like, yeah, Kofi's got no chance.
Yeah, they bring in Kofi. Like I've seen them all. Yeah,
that's a great way. That's a great final visual going into Mania. So I thought that was really well done.
Yeah, I agree. So all in all, I thought SmackDown was promo-wise was better. I thought the wrestling was better on Raw, so it was kind of a weird mix.
Kind of opposite of how.
Yeah, but still the weakest go-home shows I've seen, maybe ever, or at least in recent memory.
Yeah.
But before we get into the current news, I've kind of teased a little rant on Twitter the last few days about how fans treat the current product and how they love to romanticize about the Attitude Era. And I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off when I say this. And I have nothing planned. I'm just shooting from the hip. But it's really been bothering me. There's a lot of people on Twitter, including some that we know, that have been berating the current product and don't even fucking watch it. And they talk about how great the Attitude Era was, and they play clips about like the opening of Raw and the fireworks and how exciting it was. Yes, it was exciting. But let me tell you, fans, what was wrong about the Attitude Era and why I don't think it was as great as you fucking thought it was. Number one, the entire reason why the Attitude Era was so great and why the Monday Night Wars were so great is because they had to. They had to fucking, what Jim Cornette calls, hot shot the territory because they're in a fucking ratings war. They set the bar so unbelievably high that nothing that comes after it could ever fucking accomplish the same fucking effect. And that's why I thought the whole way they ran Nitro and Raw, albeit fucking exciting, and I was the first one. I won't pull any fucking punches here. I was down the street with my best friend Eric, watching Monday Night Raw and fucking Monday Nitro, flipping back and forth, watching NWO, watching Stone Cold. Like, we were fucking excited for it. It was a great time. But you can't run a fucking company. Like, you can't sustain that level of competition and that excitement forever. And that's why it only ran for 2 or 3 years. And nothing that will ever come after it will ever fucking reach that level ever again. It would take a goddamn miracle to find not only the fucking the right players to put in those roles, but to have the right storytelling to give those players. Stone Cold with a fucking beer truck with the goddamn Zamboni, DX with Sergeant Slaughter and Jim Ross, Shawn Michaels jumping up and down, stuffing his fucking shorts, jumping up and down, telling fucking JR to suck it, like, you're never going to capture that again. You're never going to capture the NWO magic again. Both companies did the fucking fans a disservice going forward because you're never, ever, ever going to accomplish that again. Secondly, besides the hot angles, and the great, shit with Stone Cold and The Rock and DX and Mick Foley and all that shit, that was fantastic. The rest of the fucking show was boring as shit. Go back. I challenge you guys. Seriously. I challenge all of you. Go back on the WWE Network for only $9.99. I don't even know what it is. I think it's like $10. I think I got charged $10 the other day. I was like, what the fuck? They raised the rates? But go back on the WWE Network and watch the Nitros and Raws from 97 to 99. Get through the fucking Stone Cold shit and the Rock shit and NWO shit and all that, and just watch some of the other matches. It was fucking garbage. There were so many boring mid-card fucking matches on those shows. Seriously, like, it's like now. It's like they had to, swear to God, hand to fucking God, Jeff, the wrestling in WWE right now, the wrestling matches themselves are mostly better overall than anything you saw back in the Attitude Era.
It's been like that for 15 years.
Yeah. The actual in-ring wrestling has been better than what you saw in the Attitude Era in the Monday Night Wars. There was a lot of fucking filler matches back then. There was a lot of bullshit that they did just to fill time when Stone Cold and The Rock and Taker and DX and NWO were all fucking, or they weren't on TV. Especially Nitro. Fuck. You know, they had squash matches and jobber matches all the time, especially on Nitro.
Yep.
So people want to romanticize the Attitude Era as like the greatest fucking time ever because of the angles. But overall, as this bunch of shows, they weren't that exciting the entire fucking 2 or 3 hours of the show. And it pisses me off because people look back on it so fondly, and because they tear up everything that's happened since then. You can't fucking hotshot a territory like that and have main event matches every week and ridiculous what we call crash TV is what Russo got attributed with creating, and no fault of Russo. Russo did exactly what Vince McMahon wanted, and Vince McMahon approved every single angle that was on that show. So do not ever blame Russo for being part of the hot-shotting territory. That's all Vince McMahon trying to stay in business. But like I said, you can't sustain business like that long-term moving forward. You can't raise the bar that fucking high and expect to excel every single week. That's like having the Olympics every goddamn week of the year. No fucking time off, no off season, 52 weeks a year. They're putting on, you can't put on, crash TV like that. You can't do it. So, and as far as the people watching that don't watch the product now and like to tear it up, pisses me off. I told you earlier this week, it's like voting. If you don't like who the president is and you didn't vote, you don't have a fucking reason to bitch about it.
Right.
If you're not watching the current product, you can't bitch about what's on TV. You can't talk shit about Becky or how she can't take a fucking stunner or use a stunner, and then there's just so many people that are anti-WWE right now that don't watch the product, and it aggravates the shit out of me. Or the people altogether that just stopped watching wrestling in general. Why? Because you don't agree with it? Like, it's not entertaining to you? There's nothing on the show that you can find entertaining? Well, then you're not a real wrestling fan to begin with. If you're going to stop watching Raw, you're like, oh, I watched all times as a kid through the Attitude Era, but now the fucking show sucks, I can't watch it anymore. Well, then you really weren't a wrestling fan to begin with. You're just watching the fucking exciting shit on TV. And because it's not the same thing that he put on before, which, like I said, it's impossible to do, you're not watching anymore. So apparently you weren't a fan to begin with. Me, I've been watching for 32 years. Good, bad, or indifferent, I will never, ever stop fucking watching Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. I'm a fucking WWE guy. I was a WCW guy, and I don't mind, I'll watch Impact whenever I can find it. You know what I mean? I'll watch ROH every now and then. I'm not a hardcore, like, I have to fucking watch everything there is, like fucking Meltzer and Japan, all that shit. We love you guys in Japan. I just don't like your style of wrestling. But for me, no matter how much I think Raw sucks, and I'll be the first to admit, it gets pretty fucking bad sometimes. But I'm still a lifelong wrestling fan, and I will never stop watching it. So for the fucking bandwagoners and the fly-by-nighters that just love the Attitude Era and don't watch the current product because they think it sucks, it is what it is. Like, to me, you're just not real wrestling fans. That's my little fucking rant. I had to get that off my chest. I don't know how you feel about that. You can take a different approach. You can agree with me. I don't care either way. It's all subjective. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, man. I really don't have a whole lot to add to it. You're exactly right. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Don't say I'm right because you love me.
No. I'm not. I used to watch The Walking Dead. I don't watch The Walking Dead anymore. But I haven't watched it in about 2 seasons, I guess. But I'm not going to go on Twitter after the new episode and bitch about it because I didn't watch it.
Right.
Like why would I do that? I'm not going to give my opinion on something I have no opinion of just to get a reaction out of people. There's no need for that. Wrestling fans are the same way. And to me, this is a small minority. This isn't the majority of the fans. Most fans are fans, and they do watch the product, and I'm happy with that. But there's a lot of fans that are entitled as well, and they feel like because they watched wrestling back in the boom when it was getting a 6.5 rating,
Yeah.
that they know the company. Sorry, guys, the company's different than it was 20 years ago. It is, and so if you see that Baron Corbin is facing Kurt Angle, who you remember from 2001 in his retirement match, but you have no idea who Baron Corbin is. Why are you going online and bitching about it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what does it matter to you? It doesn't matter.
Right. Now, the only way I will defend the Attitude Era, crowd, because most of them that have this issue of not liking the current product because of it, to their defense, that's all they knew.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they grew up with. I grew up with the 80s Hulk Hogan, rock and wrestling and all that shit. So I saw the boom before the boom. Like, there's the boom in the 80s, and there's the fucking decline in the early and mid 90s. Like, it was shit. Like, yeah. It's gimmick heavy. It wasn't very entertaining. There were a lot of good matches. I mean, like Bret Hart and Diesel and fucking like Shawn Michaels and all those guys were great, and early Undertaker. Mm-hmm. But there was a lot of bad shit too, like Duke the Grossi and
the Goon.
The Goon, MVP, Mantar, Bash and Booger, all that shit.
Wait, did you say MVP?
Yeah, there was an MVP before an MVP. Like,
okay.
Like, yeah, it was fucking. Oh God, who the fuck was? I think it was the Brooklyn Brawler that played them.
I think that was Knuckleball Schwartz.
Yeah, but I think it was MVP before that, and they changed it to Abe Knuckleball Schwartz. I could be wrong. God damn it, you're gonna make me Google it now.
It wouldn't surprise me.
But no, it was very gimmick heavy. In the early 90s and mid 90s, so there was a decline after the Hulk Hogan era, I will admit that. And then there was a boom with the Attitude Era. It runs in cycles. I do understand that. I've said it a million times. Wrestling is cyclical. So in their defense, I can see where if they grew up with the Attitude Era and it was that fantastic and that's all that they knew, yeah, the current product in like the mid and late 2000s and up to now can be considered a letdown. If that's the only wrestling that you knew.
Mm-hmm.
But it still doesn't disguise the fact that if you're not watching the product, dude, you can't talk shit about it. I'm sorry, you can't. Watch it and give it a chance and try to look at it objectively. Like, don't compare it to, because that's unfair. Don't compare it to any other era. That's unfair to everybody. Watch it now. Watch the in-ring product. Tell me what you like and what you don't like about it. Don't just tell me Roman fucking sucks and not know anything about his character or what he's done the last fucking 5 years or whatever. Like, don't just think Roman sucks because the crowd chants Roman sucks. Like, give me a reason why you think Roman, as a performer, sucks. Because he's really never had a bad match. He's really never done anything that wrong. Other than having shitty scripted promos by, like, Vince McMahon early on, like, talking about fucking, I don't know, goddamn fairy tales and whatever fucking...
That was a bad promo.
Yeah, shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, there was a low point, but don't be a bunch of sheep. Don't just fucking fall around and say, I'm not watching the product because it sucks. Like, that seems to be the trend now.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why it sucks. That's all I asked for. So
I'm going to make a transition here, and It's not a very smooth one.
That's right. It's fine.
But I'm at Steve Lombardi's Wikipedia page right now.
Okay, you're gonna.
And you are absolutely right. He was a character named MVP.
Suck it.
In 1993.
That's right.
But there's one thing here I had to point out, and it made me laugh my ass off. So they have his career broken down into like different gimmicks and his years in different companies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
His career started in '83, and then the early '90s. Brooklyn Brawler, MVP.
He was a jobber before, like in the '80s.
He was.
He was enhancement talent. He gets his ass beat by the Ultimate Warrior every week.
Right. But the funniest part about this is it says his semi-retirement. His semi-retirement is from 1998 to present.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like, I mean, this man has a 21-year semi-retirement going right now.
I mean, he'll get brought out of the woodworks, for
that
match.
That is excellent.
Yeah.
That's excellent. That's Terry Funkish.
It really is. Yeah.
Like he is semi-retired for the last 21 years.
And it says the Brooklyn Brawler from 89 to 93. Like, I don't know, like he's still the Brooklyn Brawler no matter what. Like he never dropped the character completely. Because anytime he comes back, they don't bring him back as fucking Abe Knuckleball Schwartz or, MVP or any of that bullshit. Like, he's the fucking Brooklyn Brawler. But, yeah, he was a character called MVP before the actual wrestler MVP came out. Mm-hmm. And it didn't last long at all. He was also one of the Doinks. He played Doink for a while.
He's a decent Doink. Yeah.
Yeah. He played the Red Knight, which I don't fucking remember that shit at all. Or Kimchi.
I don't remember those two.
And I watched all this shit, too. I don't fucking remember all that. But I do remember Abe Knuckleball Schwartz because of the 94 baseball strike.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no. I'm glad something still works in my brain. I can remember shit from 25 years ago, but I can't remember shit that I did yesterday. So,
it's weird that when you see a lot of wrestlers from then nowadays, they look a lot older. And they end up being older than you think. He's only 57.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so when he was the Brooklyn Brawler in WWE, he was my age.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize that. He was in his early 30s.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. I didn't realize that. That's
Ric
crazy.
Flair was older than him when Rick had his 92 run. Like, Rick was in his 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about that.
So anyway, that was my rant on the Attitude Era and why it was unfair to anything that came after it, which is absolutely right. You can't maintain that level of excitement, going forward for a long period of time. But yeah, I just had to get off my chest. So I'm glad you agree with me. So with that being said, let's get on to the current news leading up this past week.
All right, guys. So since it's WrestleMania season, there tends to be not as much news as normal.
Yeah, not really, right?
Because everybody's kind of getting ready for the G1 show, for Takeover, for WrestleMania, all this stuff. So everybody kind of stays on the down low for the most part. But there are a couple things that happened over the last week that are kind of interesting that I want to talk about. One of the big news came out yesterday on Tuesday. Is that WWE Hall of Famer Jim Ross has officially signed with AEW as its lead analyst and senior advisor. That's really cool. We kind of saw that coming. We've been talking about it for a while. Pretty much ever since the news of a new wrestling organization was being talked about, that the first two names that came up were Chris Jericho and Jim Ross, even though they both denied it. I still think that they've both been talking to them since the inception of this idea, probably since All In last year, would be my guess.
I think we pretty much thought the same thing for a while now.
Yeah, but it's official now, and now both of them are officially in AEW. Jim Ross will be their lead play-by-play guy.
And he's excited, man.
Yeah, and you brought up a really good point when we were talking about Michael Cole earlier, that you mentioned that Jim Ross really wouldn't be able to handle the WWE style now, because of all the plugging and going different directions and everything. I think AEW is a great fit for him.
Yep.
Because they're going to be very wrestling heavy.
Old school wrestling, yeah.
Yeah. And so this is going to fit him perfectly. And we talked about how he struggled in New Japan a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of that had to do with that it was so far in between shows that he called.
Right.
And also that, learning the Japanese names, the Japanese style and stuff, probably a little difficult for him. This is going to be more up his alley, and I think this is a huge home run hire for them. And as a senior advisor, I guess what that means is, I don't know if he's going to be doing talent relations, but he's probably just going to be kind of that mentor for everybody. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They said that great mind for the business. I guess kind of close to what Dusty Rhodes was in NXT. I would say that JR is going to be kind of similar to that for AEW. Right. So, man, I love this. I love this hire. I think this is huge for them.
I agree. I think it's a big deal. I also heard a rumor that Tony Schiavone may be joining them. I know he's doing MLW, or he was doing MLW, but
I think I saw on Tuesday he shot that down.
Did he? Okay, all right.
They said that he. I may be wrong here. I know he shot it down, but he may have said that he was in contact with them, but he just has so much going on right now that he just doesn't have the time for it.
You know what I want to see, and this is way out of the blue. What would you feel about Conrad being like a color commentator?
I thought about this today, actually. Like on my drive home, I was thinking about this exact same thing. I don't know how I'd feel about it, though, because I think Conrad would make a good play-by-play guy. But with your color commentators, you want somebody that's either a former wrestler or somebody that's kind of been behind the scenes for a long time, somebody that has more of a hands-on approach to the business, and which Conrad is in a great position now. He's very, very knowledgeable about everything.
Well, what about Mark Madden or Kevin Kelly when he first came in, or there's been a lot of announcers that haven't been in the ring.
But they were play-by-play guys, though, weren't they? I know Kevin Kelly was. He was a play-by-play guy.
Kevin Kelly was color to Michael Cole on Raw when he first came in WWF. But I mean, I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really look through Lance Russell, Bob Caudle, they were never in the ring, and I mean I don't know. It could go either way, I guess, but. And actually, I don't think Conrad would be a great play-by-play. I think he's a little too Southern. JR Southern, but Conrad's real Southern.
Southern, he's way Southern.
he's kind of got a slow delivery.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think he might be better reactive as a color guy. I mean, you've listened to the watch-alongs of him and Tony. He's gotten better at it, but he really fucking sucked when they started. He didn't know what he didn't know what his role was, but. I don't know. It's just something that popped in my head. Just something to ponder.
Mm-hmm. On Tuesday during Radmania, we interviewed Sean Mooney, and what would you think about Conrad kind of having that Sean Mooney role for AEW, doing the voiceover work for DVDs and special events and stuff like that?
Well, if you're gonna do that, you might as well just hire Sean Mooney.
That's true. He can obviously still do it,
right? And
for I think
he's been at StarCast, so he talks very highly of AEW, and you never know, he might take a role there. But yeah, no, I can see Conrad doing that as well. But if you're gonna hire a Sean Mooney, hire Sean Mooney.
That's very true. I feel like if Conrad wants a job with AEW, he has it.
Oh, easily, yeah.
But of course, he has his mortgage business and stuff too. So I don't know how busy he is or wants.
I don't know how he keeps up with all of it. Between promoting StarCast 2 now and his mortgage job and all his podcasts.
And he's a Flair now.
Yeah, I don't know. I love that. I would have changed my name to Flair if I married him. That's just
right.
me. Fuck Thompson. I'm Conrad Flair. But yeah, I don't know how I can barely keep up with all I'm doing, working full time and all that shit with YouTube and Twitch and this and all my ventures, but I don't know how he does it.
The Conrad Thompson story is really interesting when you think about it, man.
Oh, fantastic, yeah.
Because he just came in as a fan. He's like, hey, I want to get into the business, and I can't be a wrestler. And so, hey, I'm going to find another way. And now he's arguably one of the most respected people in the entire business now. Awesome.
He's our fat hero.
He is.
He's the fat guy talking wrestling.
He's my spirit animal.
Yeah, he is. I love that spirit animal. We model ourselves after Conrad, pretty much. So.
A lot of people do, and that's not a bad way to go.
Yep. I'd love to get on the show at some point.
You reminded me when you mentioned StarCast. I don't know if you heard, but Kurt Angle's been announced for StarCast now.
Wasn't that an April Fool's rib, or is that true?
Was it?
I don't know. It could go either way. It
might have been. I think I saw it on April Fool's.
Yeah.
But...
somebody said it was legit. Somebody said, "Are you sure you aren't ribbing us at April Fool's?" But then StarCast actually tweeted back, "No, it's real." But I'll believe it when I see it.
I thought it was the StarCast Twitter that I saw it and that they announced it. But
yeah, and then somebody's like, "Are you fucking pulling an April Fool's joke on us?" And they're like, "No." But we'll see. I'll believe it when I see it.
If I go to StarCast, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I mean that's huge. Kurt Angle, Sting, fucking Undertaker. Bret Hart, goddamn, dude. Goddamn, pal.
Yeah, Sean Mooney.
Where are you getting all this money from? Yeah, Sean Mooney, everybody. I don't know how they're...
Conrad's got Bruce Pritchard money, bro.
He must now, yeah.
Something to wrestle with, 83 weeks.
I can't see Rick pitching in because he still pays fucking alimony, so...
8 of them.
Right?
But yeah, man, Conrad's awesome, dude. Everything.
Can you imagine they go out to dinner now and Conrad pays for the fucking bill and takes Rick out to dinner and Conrad pays the fucking tab?
He's probably done it. I mean, it's probably happened. Yeah.
That's fucking great. I don't know how we get involved in this shit, but yeah, that's awesome. That's good.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Seth Rollins did an interview on WWE yesterday or today.
I saw that. I think it may have been today, like a live stream or something. Or
Yeah,
they streamed it today. Facebook.
And he was asked about Dean Ambrose, and he actually, I mean, tearfully said that he's going to miss Dean, and that he understands. He even mentioned Dean not being happy with his character, like create some creative stuff. And he said but he did say something interesting too. He said that sometimes you just need to go away for a while, and that kind of clicked something in my head. Like, okay, maybe this isn't goodbye for good.
Right.
Maybe this is him taking a year off. Maybe show back up at the Rumble next year or something.
Yeah.
You know,
I think I may have alluded to that a month or two ago. That
I remember you mentioning it.
maybe he just needs some time off to chill and to fucking reflect. I know he had a lot of time off of the injury, but maybe this is just his time to kind of, be with Renee or whatever, and just kind of do his own thing. Because, like I said, he's a private guy. Just let him do whatever he wants to do, and then come back strong. Out of the blue. It's funny because I said it jokingly, but now like. I guess I was right. I tweeted out earlier in the week a post from the Scopely, creators of the WWE Champions mobile game that I play fucking religiously every day.
Mm-hmm.
And they changed one of their in-game segments, which used to be called Dean's Daily, where you'd take your wrestler and go through like this gauntlet to get like coins and stuff in the game. But they changed it to The Undertaker. They took Dean out and put The Undertaker in. I'm like, well, it's fucking official, guys.
Yeah, right.
WWE Champions has the inside scoop. Dean Ambrose is not re-signing with the company. So
well, we don't normally
break
news. We don't break news on this show, but you made an exception for this one.
Yep, I broke it on Twitter, so I was the first one to call it before Seth Rollins did. So.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we've been kind of back and forth trying to figure out what we think.
I wasn't back and forth. I've been hanging on until the fucking Titanic goes
You
down,
were,
dude.
yeah.
I've been on the Dean train the whole fucking time. Like, it's got to be a rib. It's got to be, it's got to be. He changed his mind. He's got to stay. Roman wants him there, but no, I agree. He's out.
That's you're 100% in that he's gone now.
Yep, I'm getting a lifeboat. I'm out of here.
All right, I'm with you, but I also don't think it's for good. I think he will be back, maybe sooner than later. I'm wondering maybe if it was, we heard Sami Zayn's interview on Jericho's podcast about how he didn't realize until he was gone that how much he kind of liked time off the road and
for real. And Kevin Owens said the same thing too. Like he loved spending time with his family.
I wonder if Dean kind of thought that, and then once he got back, he was probably happy to be back, but then went, oh man, I kind of miss a few of these things I could do when I wasn't on the road all the time.
I miss fucking not having to take bumps and shit. You know what I mean? Like that shit hurts, man.
Right. So
speaking of Jericho, why don't you let the fans know what you told me before the show?
Yeah, so Jericho actually announced on his podcast that he said he's banned, which is kind of a funny way to put it.
Right.
But he no longer is allowed to have any WWE talent on his Talk is Jericho podcast. And that's interesting, and it makes sense, I guess, because he is in AEW now. So, but he kept saying he was banned, but then he did say, I'm not really banned. I'm sure if I wanted to visit somebody backstage, I probably could. He's like, but when it comes to any WWE talent being on his podcast, they can't do it anymore. He did say something really funny, though. He's like, he said, I'm wondering why Billy Gunn can go in the WWE Hall of Fame again, but I can't get anybody on my podcast. That's not very fair.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm actually looking at WWE Network right now to see if that one podcast show he did is on there or if they took it off.
Oh, yeah, he did do one episode of Talk is Jericho on there, didn't he?
He did, but I can't.
Was it with Shane? Is that who?
Yeah, it was with Shane. I can't seem to find it. I don't know what. It's not under originals. Maybe original special. I just want to see if they pulled it, because they pulled them off the signature opening of the shows.
Yeah. They did that like the day he signed with AEW.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they pulled his Talk is Jericho off. Because he filled in for Stone Cold one month. But that would be fucking petty if they pulled that shit off.
It really would.
It really would. I can't find it, and I'm just going to go through it. I'm not going to go through the whole fucking thing, but just a quick search.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't find it. I don't know if they pulled it off the network or not.
They probably did. Yet the CM Punk documentary is still there.
Yeah, go figure that one, right? Let me search Chris Jericho here. Going through, they've got a bunch of his moments and stuff. So at least his matches and stuff still appear on there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's not completely pulled off the network. I just had to check live with Chris Jericho. Apparently he did an interview with Cena. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Live with Jericho with Stephanie. Fuck. Apparently he did more than. Apparently he did more than that one. Apparently our memory fucking sucks. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to do a quick check to see if they were that petty to pull them off the network. So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. I was curious about that too. So.
Right.
Also in the news, the Usos, the reigning SmackDown Tag Team Champions, have officially re-signed with the WWE.
Awesome.
Yeah,
God.
I'm really happy about that because they were a little back and forth from what I heard.
Yeah.
Like they actually maybe considered going to AEW, but this is their home. WWE is their home. They they need to be there the rest of their careers. We talked about this before we started the podcast too. That they're pretty much set for life here. They're arguably in the top 5 greatest tag teams of all time at this point. I think. I mean, in my opinion, I think they are. They've had kind of a career resurgence a little bit over the last year or two because their Samoan gimmick was starting to get a little stale. People were kind of turning on them, and then they ridded themselves as these kind of hood guys that are super cool and people love them now, and they're pretty awesome. So I'm really excited to hear that they're going to stick with WWE.
Me too, man. I love them. I hope they started their career. I hope they end their career with WWE.
I do too. And Rikishi was a WWE homer his entire career, so it only makes sense that his sons would be the same way. And the Usos are only 33, so they still got a pretty decent career ahead of them if they can stay healthy. They've been relatively healthy for the most part. I think Jimmy got hurt with like a bicep injury once.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a WrestleMania pre-show match actually,
right, yeah.
when he got hurt. And but that's the only injury. If they can stay out of jail, is like the only
thing. They got arrested, but they're still on WrestleMania this year in a tag team title match. I mean,
right.
That shows you what Vince feels about them. Which is funny that they're on the fucking card, but the Hardy Boys aren't. Like the Hardy Boys are gonna be in the Battle Royal, I think.
Yeah.
But how are the Hardys not in the fucking tag team title match? I feel like Vince is punishing Matt for going on his YouTube channel and like announcing, like challenging the bar, like the winner of the bar and the Usos or whoever the fucking, I forgot what it was, but he challenged the winners of I think the Chamber tag team title match.
Yeah.
And put himself over, went into business for himself on his YouTube channel, probably without asking Vince and just doing it on his own. And now he's getting punished for it. That's a total Vince McMahon dick move to fucking do that to him.
I mean, it is, but I mean, I kind of see why they would do it too, because like you said, they're going to business for themselves. And you can't do that. Like that's always been a big no-no in wrestling in general.
Yep.
So if that was the case, then I feel bad for Jeff because Jeff really had nothing to do with it.
Yep, I agree.
But I business wise, I see it. If that really is the case, we don't know for sure that's the case. But if it is, then
to me, I'll bet any amount of money on it, dude. I guarantee that's exactly what happened. That's a total Vince McMahon move. I can see why he did it, but having one of the biggest tag teams ever on a fucking pre-show and a battle royal.
In the last year of their contract too.
Yeah, and they just got back together like a month or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a shitty move.
And remember, the Usos cut that promo a couple weeks ago in that hallway, and they like individually called out the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
So it's weird. Yeah.
Maybe they all wanted that match, but Vince said, "No, you can't do that without me asking. Without asking me first." So
right.
I could totally see that.
But I guess Usos are in good graces. They got new contracts, and they're in WrestleMania. So
yeah, it's cool with me, man. I love them.
Yeah, me too. The first WWE Saudi Arabia show that was originally scheduled for May has now been moved to June due to, from what I read, quote, booking reasons. Don't know what that means. I don't know if it's flight bookings, if it's building bookings, talent bookings.
And is there a name for that event yet?
Not that I've seen, huh?
So we're over a month away, and they haven't even announced a match or a name.
Yeah.
Think about that.
I know Taker's going to be there. That's the only person I've seen that's going to be wrestling there.
But think about that. Think of how much money's involved, and we don't even know what it's called.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't remember how close to the event they named Crown Jewel. I don't remember. But, one of the reasons I brought this up, though, is because with them moving the date, is a lot of people aren't talking about this, but I heard somebody mention it, that Daniel Bryan has already said he's not going to Saudi Arabia again.
Right.
And if that's the case, they're going to want to take...
Maybe that's the booking issues.
Right, it could be, yeah.
Nobody wants to go.
The WWE's not going to go to that show without their WWE champion.
That's a good point.
So if the move's going to be made for Kofi to become champion, it makes a lot of sense now because they're going to want Kofi going into Saudi Arabia as the champion. So that might possibly be a little spoiler of what happens at Mania.
Right. That's a good point.
Because if Bryan's not going to, I was going to say Crown Jewel. If he's not going to Saudi Arabia, then somebody's got to take that title in there. So why not Kofi?
What if there's a huge uprising between the guys and girls where they all like pretty much say we're not going? What does Vince do? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, dude.
It is. I don't know what they would do because supposedly, like with last year's event, Vince pretty much gave everybody, told everybody, hey, it's your decision. But whether that's true or not, I don't know. I could see like last year, Daniel Bryan and John Cena refused to go. That's Daniel Bryan and John Cena. Mm-hmm. If the Revival came up and said we're not going, it might be a different situation. So I don't know. I don't know what would happen if everybody kind of revolted together and just said, "Hey, none of us are going. We're all staying here." I don't know. I don't know what they would do. They obviously couldn't have a show with no wrestlers. So I don't know. That's a really good question. It probably won't come to that because WWE's probably offering people bonuses and stuff for going on that show. So if somebody's somebody lower on the card is offered a big payday to be on that show, then they're probably going to take it. So,
give me one second. I'll edit this part out.
Okay.
Fucking Router Designs just went on YouTube Live.
Why?
I don't know. And now he just went off the air. It was just him sitting there like...
Was he testing it?
Maybe. But were they trying to steal our fucking thunder? Before we go into our streaming shit this week? I'm telling you, man, that kid's fucking flaky. I don't like that dude at all. I think he's a fucking douchebag.
Yeah. What time you got, by the way? Just so I can write this down.
Oh, sorry, 2:04:55.
All right, so we'll say like 2:02.
Yeah. I just got a message popped up. And I'm like, what the fuck is that shit, dude? I'm telling you, man, he fucking argues with me all the time. And he's kind of the one that I didn't call him out with the whole fucking not watching shit and
I know.
Product, but that was him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just got a pop-up message that they were going live. Like, don't even try to fucking steal our gimmick before anybody else does. Or before we do it. That's bullshit.
Yeah, message John. See if he knows about it.
Yeah, I will. It was 12 seconds. Maybe he didn't even mean to fucking... No, he wrote banned and dang. Like, he couldn't even fucking spell check before he went live. Fucking idiot. Yeah. Anyways, I just think that they're trying to ride our fucking coattails, and they're jealous of all the hype and the fucking pump that we get. But we fucking earned it, man.
Right.
All they do is sit around with shitty fucking audio and just fucking bitch about stupid shit.
Right. Hey, I got a quick question for you.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay, so the higher ups in AEW, obviously we got Cody, the Bucks, Kenny, JR. Is there a guy named Tony that I'm not thinking of besides Tony Schiavone? That's the only Tony that's coming to my mind.
Tony, goddamn fucking the dude that owns the shit. Him and his dad.
Oh, Tony Khan.
Tony Khan, yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, I forgot about him. Okay. So somebody asked Cody on Twitter, who's producing the Road to Double or Nothing series? It is very well done and is the vein of NFL films. Cody Rhodes said Comeback Studios and me, Tony, Nick, Matt, and Kenny.
Oh wow!
So that's why the Tony name stuck. I'm like, is Tony Schiavone?
Nice.
W?
Nice.
So
yeah.
Okay, but yeah, Tony Khan. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. Okay.
All right. You can pick back up wherever you want.
Fuck, where were we? We're talking about the Saudi Arabia show.
Yeah.
Okay. What were we talking about? People revolting on the show.
Yep.
So, all right. But yeah, I don't know about everybody revolting at once. It'd be interesting. Having a big payday for people.
It's just a thought, if they all banded together, what the hell would happen?
Yeah. Money talks, though. It's gonna be hard for people not to get that huge payday for going, especially the guys on the lower card. So, I don't know. It's gonna happen. Plus $80 million per. If they're gonna go.
Yeah.
So The last thing I have on the news, and this has been kind of a big thing going around the last couple of days. A host, and I don't have the name of the show on the top of my head. I really should, but unfortunately I don't. But it's this gentleman named John Oliver did this show, talking about the WWE in general, and made some very, very interesting comments during the show, which has been talked about through
a lot. Yeah.
A lot of people around the wrestling world. But a couple things that stuck out to me is he talked about how the WWE doesn't tend to take care of their superstars, and they're not big on their safety and their health and everything.
Yeah,
and,
I took exception to that.
Right. But the one that really stuck out to me, something I really never thought about, is that he questioned how they can be independent contractors, yet be tied down to WWE where they can't go wrestle anywhere else. Because if they were independent contractors, then by law, they could get work anywhere they wanted.
Yeah, but being like in the freight industry, like I'm a dispatcher, we have contractors that own their own trucks, and we give them jobs to do. They have right of refusal for shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't moonlight and go drive for another company while under our insurance, under our contract with our logos on the trucks and all that. Like, yeah, they're contractors, but they're exclusive to us.
Right.
We have a contract with them. And there's language in the contract that states you can't go work for any other freight company. You have a no-compete. Even after they're terminated, a lot of them have a no-compete for a few months.
Okay.
So I know it's been a huge debate forever in wrestling, and I do understand that, but there's language in the contract that says they can't go work for anybody else.
Okay. That makes sense. It just I was really interested about it because I never really thought about that.
Right.
WWE makes it known publicly that yes, they are independent contractors, but while they work for us, they can't go work for anybody else.
Because we're putting our money behind them, we're promoting them, we're essentially putting their logos on our trucks.
Right.
And so you can't go work for AEW or Impact or anything like that. It's just a conflict of interest.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. Well, that's all I got. That's all I got news-wise. Like I said, not the busiest week with it being WrestleMania week, but because the biggest news is pretty much WrestleMania and everything going on this weekend.
Well, let's keep the Jeff chain rolling, and let's get into our brand new segment. I can't wait for this. And you actually pre-recorded it, so spoiler alert. Like,
little peek behind the curtains here.
Peek behind the curtain, but here is the one and only Jeff Johnson and his new segment, his new feature called "Thinking Outside the Shell."
All right, guys, for the first edition of Thinking Outside the Shell, I want to talk about the current feud going on between Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin. There's a lot of people online that are really, really pissed off about Kurt Angle not having a more high-profile, high-caliber match at WrestleMania for his send-off. And, while I do agree with a lot of people in their side of it, I also see the WWE side of it as well. Kurt Angle is a part-timer at this point, and this is his farewell, his send-off. And, as much as I would love to see Kurt Angle in a big high-profile match with somebody like John Cena or The Undertaker, Triple H, something like that, I really see why they're using Baron Corbin in this spot. Angle has been able to pick his opponents the last couple of weeks, which is really cool, and I'm glad they were able to do that for him. But one thing that everybody's got to realize is that after WrestleMania, Kurt Angle is going to be gone, and Baron Corbin's still going to be there. And really, there's really a lack of heels, top heels on Monday Night Raw right now. I mean, you have Drew McIntyre, but really that's about it. And after that, I guess you have Brock Lesnar, but there's no telling what he's going to be doing after WrestleMania. And if he is still around, he's not going to be on there every week. So, you really do need to start building up more heels on that show, especially if everything goes kind of the way it's looking and Seth Rollins leaves WrestleMania with the Universal title. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, no, why Baron Corbin? Why Baron Corbin? Well, I think Corbin is great in that spot because he's getting one of the biggest reactions on the show. It's kind of the anti-Roman Reigns, I guess, where Roman Reigns was, even though he was a babyface, he was getting these huge reactions. Well, Corbin is a heel, getting pretty much the same reaction from people. The crowd is not quiet when Baron Corbin's out there, and that really does make a big difference. And I know that the WWE office sees that as well. And when you think about somebody like Ric Flair, when he had his last match at WrestleMania, he lost. And but by no means am I comparing Baron Corbin to Shawn Michaels by any means, but Michaels was still there after Mania, and they knew that. And like I said, Corbin's going to be there after Mania too. And if you really want to build Corbin, maybe you should put him over Kurt Angle at WrestleMania this year. I think it's a great idea. I think it's something that they've considered. I don't know if they're going to go that direction, but I think it's a win-win for WWE at this point, because either Corbin's going to get massive heel heat for this, or we're going to get that sentimental goodbye that with Kurt Angle, with his hand raised in victory at WrestleMania. Either way, I think it's going to work out. But I know me personally, I got to side with the WWE here, and I really think that this is a pretty good idea. This is something that I'm actually kind of looking forward to see what they do, because even though I'm not the biggest Baron Corbin fan by any means, I do think he has a lot of potential. I think he's gotten a lot better, and I really want to see where they go from here. Trust me, guys, on the surface, it looks like this is a really bad idea, but trust me, in the long run, this is definitely going to be worth it.
I like it, man.
Yeah,
people might be a little pissed off by that.
Yeah,
you taking the alternate route and going behind Baron, but you make a great point. Kurt's leaving.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it's a feel-good moment to give him the win after at WrestleMania.
Right.
But who's going to benefit more from it? Like, we expect him to beat Baron Corbin, so who gives a fuck?
Mm-hmm.
But if Baron gets the win, it does a lot more for his career, and will leave a more of a lasting moment of him getting the pinfall and celebrating over Kurt.
Right.
Then maybe Kurt shaking his hand after the match.
Right. Exactly.
And giving him the rub. That's what you do. It's a time-honored tradition of putting somebody else over on the way out. It's been going on for years. I don't care if it's WrestleMania, WWE, or Kurt Angle, or whoever it is.
Right.
You do the honors on the way out. Ric Flair did it with Mr. Perfect when he left in '93.
Mm-hmm.
It should be the same thing here.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose is doing the same thing now.
Yeah.
And
that's what you do.
Comparing it to Ric Flair's retirement, yeah, that is kind of a gray area, just because he had the stipulation where if he lost a match that he had to retire.
Yeah.
But everybody kind of knew going into that match that he was going to lose that match to Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, but you're right. He did it for Shawn too. He did it twice actually in WWE. He did it for Mr. Perfect in '93, and then he did it for Shawn at WrestleMania 24. Yep.
So
I can't keep track of all the numbers.
Well, the only reason I remember is because Flair was 24, and then him and Taker was 25,
25 and 6,
and then 26 was overtime. Yeah. Yeah, man, I do like where they're going with this, and like I said in my piece, I would love to see him face a Triple H, a John Cena, something like that. But the ball's got to keep going, and the machine's got to keep moving.
And they put a lot behind Baron Corbin this year. Yep. They have, like it or not, they really have.
Yep.
They've been grooming him for a featured spot, and he's earned it, man. I mean, as much shit as we gave him a few weeks ago when we first announced the horse shit of the announcement, I can see why they did it.
Yeah,
and you even furthered that, man. You drove it home. You did a great job in that piece.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to doing that every week, because, that's going to be kind of my thing, is that where I take, I take either a storyline or a news outlet, something going on, and kind of give a different perspective, because I do tend to see things from a different angle than other people. I don't know why I do that, but I tend to do that. And so, I'm going to find something that's going to be kind of outside the norm of what most people think. And
outside the shell, baby.
Outside the shell. That's it.
Turtle outside the shell, man. It's awesome. Yeah. It's a double entendre.
Ooh, big word. Like
right?
It. Yeah.
I hope I use that right.
Sounds good to me.
Right? Boom. So yeah, that's fantastic, and I'm looking forward to that each week. So that being said, and we don't have a lot to cover on the mailbag, let's get into the mailbag real quick, and then we'll go into our G1 or NXT predictions. So bring on the mailbag.
You've got mail.
All right, We have one question because we have a lot to talk about this week. So, I like this guy. It's James. It's AKC Dog Handler from Twitter. He likes to write in every week.
Yep.
And I think we're actually gonna get him on the show here in the next month or so.
Okay. Cool.
Because he's got a very good take on wrestling. He's got his finger on the pulse nowadays. But he writes, and he wanted me to shorten this, but I'm just going to leave it the way it is because I think it's a really great email. James Schwartz writes, "Hey guys, not sure when the next mailbag show is, but I figure I send this in since it's on my mind and it can be in the can for when you get to it," which is fine. You guys want to write in questions? We will literally answer it every week. We have no problem being interactive with the fans. He says, "My question involves calling wrestling fake. And do you get offended when other fans call it fake? The reason I ask is I think it's ridiculous for mark fans to show outrage whenever another fan calls it fake. And it's usually just to make a point about a story or an argument that they are reading into a little too much. Don't get me wrong, I never go to a Hulk Hogan or DDP and tell them that their craft is fake. But if it's a fan-to-fan conversation, I see nothing wrong with saying fake because it's just two fans talking about entertainment. It usually meant ground the conversation, and it's usually meant probably to ground the conversation and bring things back to the real world. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. The only thing worse is when a fan gets offended when a wrestler calls it fake. Now, if someone bumped in front of a paying audience or on national TV, they can call it whatever they want. The only ones they have to answer to is the locker room. But for a fan to get offended? Well, if that's not the definition of a mark, I don't know what is." That's fantastic. That's absolutely right, man. Why do wrestlers or fans get so fucking fired up about other fans calling shit fake? You never took a bump. You were never in the ring. Like, yeah, it's predetermined. It's fucking scripted, but it's fucking entertainment, man. It's wrestling. Like, why would you have heated, contentious debates with people over whether wrestling is quote fake or not? I mean, I don't know.
I think it has to do with just how passionate wrestling fans are,
right?
And people that actually do watch the product and enjoy the product. I know me personally, the only people I've ever got offended with by calling it fake are people that aren't fans, and people that come to me and be like, "Oh, you watch that fake shit." You know?
See, that I got a problem with, and that I totally get.
Right. I think it's one of those things you have to know your audience. You have to know who you're talking to. Like if you and I are sitting here having a conversation, and I'm like, and I think we've even joked about it before. Like, yeah, I talk about MMA on the weekends, but during Wednesday I talk about the fake shit. Like when I say that, I'm saying it tongue in cheek.
Right.
And very, very few actual fans will call wrestling fake to what's the word I'm trying to think of, to demoralize it. Mm-hmm. Most people that are fans aren't going to do that. And a lot of people that get super offended is because they don't have a comeback. Somebody will come to them like, "Oh, it's fake." "Oh, well, fuck you." Whatever. Yeah. But if you have an actual reason to debate why it's not fake, then a lot of times those people will shut up after that.
Right.
So if you sit there and tell somebody, well, yeah, like what I always say is, there's two things in wrestling that are fake: the punches and the storylines. That's it. It's the only two things that are fake.
Unless you're Stone Cold or fucking,
unless you're actually potatoing something.
Yeah, you lay it in, or Shane McMahon when you fucking lay it in. But yeah, no, right. I get what you're saying. I just had to throw it in there.
No, but I'll tell people, getting slammed on anything, your body landing on anything is going to hurt, and there's nothing.
It's unnatural, man. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, you're right. It's like a fucking 20 car crashes a night,
Yeah. And so, like I said, you have to know your audience. You have to know who you're talking to. But it's the people that don't know the wrestling business and just see it as people in their underwear fake punching each other. Like, those are the ones those are the people that call it fake. Yeah. That's because they have no idea what they're talking about. But that's like me going to somebody and go, I mentioned The Walking Dead earlier. Oh, fuck that show. Fucking fake zombies walking around everywhere. Why do you like that?
Yeah.
I don't do that. It's a television show. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what?
Yeah.
And you just have to know who you're talking to. And if you want to get heated over a non-fan calling it fake, you have every right to as a passionate wrestling fan.
Yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right. So I agree with everything you said, and that I have nothing really to add to that. You hit the nail right on the fucking head, dude. I can't improve on that. Good job. And thank you for that question, James. We appreciate
thank you, James.
writing in every week, man. Keep sending us letters. If the rest of you want to send us any letters or comments, as always, you can send it to radturtleswrestling@gmail.com. And shout out to Darren Simpson from the UK, who's still listening and sends me a note every now and then saying he enjoys the show. He's looking forward to our watch along with Stan and John Wangland. We broke down the Bret Hart Steve Austin submission match from WrestleMania 13, and how great of a match it was. That's going to be dropping on Wrestling with Reality podcast with John Wangland on Saturday, this coming Saturday, the 6th. And we're also going to drop it on our show, on our normal Tuesday feed, in place of our normal interview. We'll have it on our stream as well. So you guys are really going to enjoy that breakdown. But yeah, he Darren is really looking forward to that breakdown of the match. So that's coming up on Saturday. That's all I have for the mailbag. I do want to mention our 2 brand new sponsors. If you guys have heard the ads all week and before this show, we're proud to be sponsored by Blue Chew. There is a huge stigma going around, like with some people that I've talked to on Twitter, like, man, I don't have any problems. I don't need those pills. Well, it's not for people that have problems. It's for people that actually want an added boost in their game. Just, there's no fucking shame in my game, but if you want to go a couple rounds, with your favorite person or, just some random stranger,
we don't condone that kind of thing.
But we don't condone that kind of thing as long as it's done safely.
Yes.
But Blue Chew will help you out. So I've had a lot of fun promoting Blue Chew all week and getting the various comments like, you guys are selling them dick pills. Well, I mean, hey, you got to pay the fucking bills, man. We're doing whatever we can to make money. But no, we promote the product. I have used it, so I can, and like I said, Rad Wife can attest to the fact that it's good shit, man. You hear Eric Bischoff and Conrad talk about it all the time. It's the real, it's the real deal. It's good. It's a good product.
Yeah, Bischoff talks about the Bischoff bazooka. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he knows what works.
Tony finally gets the button on the fur coat, going into fucking action too. So we're happy that they're a sponsor for us.
Absolutely.
If you want to, if you want a free sample, just got to pay $5 shipping and handling. Use the promo code RAD when you check out. We would appreciate that. Also, we have another new sponsor this week that just came on board. Is the Collar and Elbow clothing brand created by Al Snow. Everybody knows who Al Snow is, and he created this brand a few years ago. We're very happy to be part of their affiliate program. They put out some really cool shirts, man, and their proceeds, if you round up your total proceeds, go to the Cauliflower Alley Club. So we're totally excited to help them and to help the Cauliflower Alley Club, and they have awesome fucking shirts. So if you guys want to take part of that, just use the promo code RAD when you check out, and you get 10% off your order. It's nothing, it's free money off your order, man. It's good shit.
Yeah, guys, they have some awesome stuff over there. Make sure you guys go check them out. Anything from the fight games, the wrestling world, anything. You guys go check it out. You guys will not be disappointed. We already have some stuff ordered. We're hoping to have it in really soon.
Yep.
So you guys jump on board with us. We're definitely on with these guys. These Collar and Elbow are super, super great guys.
Yep, and we also want to mention on our Twitter page, at RadTurtlesPOD, and on my Twitter page, at RadRobGaming, our pinned tweets are our affiliation with Amazon. If you guys like Audible and you like audiobooks, they have a program going on right now that we're taking part of. You can get 2 free audiobooks for signing up, which are your choice to keep. Even if you cancel the subscription, you will get 2 free audiobooks and a free month with Audible, which have they have Daniel Bryan's book on there, his story leading up to WrestleMania 30. It's kind of his life story. There's Hulk Hogan's on there. Terry Funk has a book on there. Dusty Rhodes, Jericho has I think it's his 3rd or 4th book. He has actually 2 books on there. He has a self-help book and another one before that. So, and it's not just wrestling. If you like horror or comedy or mysteries or autobiographies, there's thousands and thousands of books on Audible, audible.com. So if you go on our Twitter pages and click that link that we have pinned up on our pinned tweets, you can sign up for a month, cancel anytime. As long as you cancel within the first month before it gets billed, You will not get rebilled, but it would help us with the show if you click on that and sign up for it. You get 2 free audiobooks, your choice. You can keep them when you cancel. And if you decide to re-sign with them, we get extra money for that too. So anything you do, even just signing up for free, will help us, give a little kickback to the show with all of our programs. We do this for free, but it'd be nice to get, a little bit of incentive or a little bit of pay to go along with this. But we appreciate you listening, and we appreciate you helping out in these programs. So that being said, let's get on to our some people's favorite part of the show, because this guy is pretty freaking over.
Yeah, he is.
It's Polyester the Evil Taylor, back with round 4 of his Imbecile of the Week.
Good evening to each and every one of you imbeciles out there. Welcome back to your favorite segment of the Ninja Turtle podcast, the Imbecile of the Week, hosted by Polyester the Evil Taylor. So earlier this week, I was listening to the Wrestling with Reality podcast, and I heard the imbecile that writes my checks is co-hosting now. That, of course, being Rob Frenchy. The first quarter of the podcast was basically a promotional seminar dedicated to this week's shenanigans. Specifically, I'm talking about hashtag Radmania. Now, for you imbeciles listening, hashtag Radmania is basically a stunt that the imbeciles that run this Ninja Turtle podcast are doing, where they have a show for every day of the week, which has volcanic heat with me. Why, you may ask? Because Polly is contractually obligated to listen to all things Ninja Turtle podcasts. You see, when I signed my lucrative deal to do this segment on the Ninja Turtle podcast, in very tiny print, Rob Frenchy and Jeff Weiner stipulated that I had to listen to every episode. So I did research. Weiner and Frenchy put out 2 to 3 episodes a week. Now, Polly is a busy man, but I was able to squeeze that into my already hectic schedule. Enter hashtag Radmania. These imbeciles decided to put an episode for each day of the week. So now, Paulie has to listen to Rob Frenchy and or Jeff Weiner every day this week. And as I stated, this has volcanic heat with me. I'm an extremely busy man, and I choose to believe that the sole reason that Frenchy and Weiner are providing so much damn content is to pop themselves, knowing that this has heat with me. So for giving the imbeciles that run the Ninja Turtle podcast a platform, John Wanglin, you are the Imbecile of the Week. That'll do it for this week, you imbeciles. Give me a follow on Twitter. It's at @thepoly_Esther. That's @thepoly_Esther on Twitter. Join me again next week for my weekly segment. Who knows, maybe you'll be the Imbecile of the Week.
He fucking swerved me again, man. He had me thinking like you're gonna be a fucking two-time, and then he fucking makes Johnny Boy the fucking Imbecile of the Week. I love it.
I'm so disappointed right now.
I know you are, man. You told me when you listened to it earlier, like, oh, I can't believe.
I thought I was gonna be
fucking close, man.
I thought I was gonna be up there with Ric Flair, Bret Hart, Booker T. 2-time Hall of Famers. I thought I was gonna be a 2-time Imbecile of the Week, but I got swerved. I got left out. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm still keeping up hope.
Hey, at least you got one, man. I told him today I'm still looking for my next one. He's like, just keep on the path you're going, and you'll get there eventually. But I'm bummed out, man. I thought this is my opportunity to become the Imbecile of the Week. I'm a little bit let down.
I think your time's coming.
I'm trying. I said,
you deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told today, I'm like, what the fuck else do I have to do? But I love it. Polly's so good, man.
That was great.
I love that segment. It's such a good. It's such a good segment. So.
And thank you, Paulie, for listening to everything that had to do with Radmania this week.
Yeah, even though you're contractually obligated, we appreciate.
Yeah, you don't have a choice. We pay you too well. So.
Right. But let's get into the G1 Supercard. NXT, Jesus Christ. ROH, big difference, sorry.
Big difference.
ROH and New Japan Pro Wrestling are teaming together for the G1 Supercard, which is going to be held from Madison Square Garden. Think about this, dude. I mentioned this on my show with John last week. Jay Lethal is going to be the first world champion to main event a show at Madison Square Garden that is not a WWE contracted performer. I think in the last 50 or 60 years. Like, he's the first one outside of WWE, WWF to main event at a show at MSG. That's crazy. That's a crazy stat.
And really, either way they go, if Jay Lethal headlines or if Jay White headlines, whichever title they decide on, that's going to be the case. That it's going to be a non-WWE contracted superstar is going to main event a title from another organization from Madison Square Garden.
That's fantastic, man. That's a great fucking stat. I was blown away when I heard that. Like, I didn't really think about that, but WWE has had such a stranglehold on MSG for 60 years now.
Yeah. And from what I heard, they tried to keep that stranglehold, but
they did. They did.
But it didn't happen. Ring of Honor and New Japan got together and said, "You know what? We're making this happen." And this is going to be a fun show, man. I know. Unfortunately, a lot of people have kind of backed off on it just because Kenny and the Bucks and everybody aren't going to be there. But guys, get back on board. This show is going to be incredible.
It is. And I said like a few months ago, if you had asked me like back in January or December last year when they started talking about this stuff, they were having visa issues with the Japanese performers. They weren't sure who was going to be there. It was not good. Like, it was heavy ROH and very little New Japan.
Yeah.
And that was going to be a fucking disaster. But thankfully they were able to work it out, and we have literally the biggest stars in New Japan coming over to wrestle on the Supercard.
Yep.
I'm fucking excited.
I'm really excited too, man. There's 12 matches announced for the show right now, so it's going to be a long show, which is no shocker with what goes on WrestleMania weekend. But let's get to it, man. Let's break it down. So the opening match is going to be a 6-woman tag team match. It's going to be between Kagitsu, Jenny Rose, and Hazuki versus Hana Kimura, Stella Gray, and Sumi Sakai. I know Sumi Sakai.
Did you say Hazuki?
Hazuki, yes.
Yeah, God bless you.
Thank you.
That's the old fucking Bobby Heenan joke. I just had to pull that out. Hakuchi, God bless you.
This is going to be a lot of fun because anytime you get Japanese female wrestlers, we've seen it over here now too. Yeah. Like they're so stiff, and they bring that strong style as well. Yep. So they're going to put on an awesome match. Sumi Sakai is actually the inaugural Women of Honor champion. She was the first one, so she's a really big deal. I've seen a lot of stuff from her. She's super impressive. So this is going to be a really good hot opener, and it kind of fits the billing of the weekend. With the women's matches kind of being the big deal, and with the triple threat at Mania being kind of the marquee that these 3 women are going to come in and put on an awesome match to open the show. So I'm pretty excited about it. And they did officially announce that this would be the match that opens it. So
awesome, good deal. Well, there's one more for the pre-show, right?
Yes. The next match is the Honor Rumble, which they tend to do this once a year. I was trying to look for the list of participants. Uprocks.com has the latest. Jushin Thunder Liger has been announced for it, which he's on his retirement tour right now.
That's cool.
So, guys, this might be the last time you get to see Jushin Thunder Liger in the States. So, if you guys,
for real.
So you guys check it out. This guy's a legend, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, no matter what part of the world. He's amazing.
Yep, absolutely.
Also announced by Ring of Honor is Kenny King, PJ Black, which is the former Justin Gabriel.
Yep.
The Bouncers, which is Beer City Bruiser and Brian Milanis.
Yep.
And Cheeseburger.
I've also heard Rhett Titus, LSG, Shaheem Ali, and then a couple others. But yeah, I love Cheeseburger.
Yeah,
Not only do I love eating cheeseburgers, Cheeseburger himself is over. Like, Steve Austin loves him. Like, he's super over with a lot of the boys. So
he is. Yeah, he's excellent. There are a couple rumored New Japan guys for it. The names I'm hearing are Rocky Romero, Tomohiro Ishii, which he's a beast. Like, I'm gonna love seeing him in there just throwing people around. Sho and Yo, which is one of the top tag teams in New Japan. Minoru Suzuki, who is a legend in New Japan. He's been around forever. He's a bull. Like, he's going to be really fun in there. Taka Michinoku, who everybody knows from the old WWF days. He's still around doing stuff everywhere. So
first ever WWF light heavyweight champion.
Yes. Great wrestler, too.
Yep.
Great wrestler. And then the LA Dojo Young Lions are also rumored to be.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yep.
That's awesome. Good
so gonna be a great turnout. It's gonna be a fun Rumble. It's actually it's a Royal Rumble style, so it's not just your typical battle royal like you see with like the Andre or the women's battle royal at Mania. Right. This is a different style. This is more a Royal Rumble style. So
and it fits right in with MSG, man. That's awesome.
No kidding, yeah. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Getting into the main card, man, there's so many great matches from top to bottom.
Dude, top to bottom, where do you even place all this shit? Like, everything's the main event.
Right. The first match I see listed here, if this ends up being the opener, my God, This is going to be tough to follow. It is a winner-take-all match for both the Never Openweight and the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. It's between the Never Open champion Will Ospreay versus the Ring of Honor Television champion Jeff Cobb. For those of you who don't know who Jeff Cobb is, he's Matanza Cueto from Lucha Underground.
Yep, and if you don't know who Will Ospreay is, where the fuck have you been?
Will Ospreay is one of the most exciting wrestlers in the world, and you guys probably saw, what was it, 2 years ago, I guess, the match between him and Ricochet that kind of took over social media.
Everybody, that was like the fucking 6-star, goddamn 7-star match from Meltzer. Yeah, dude, that was the greatest match ever, in his opinion.
Right. It was really, really good. He's a freak athlete.
Yeah.
This is a really interesting matchup of styles because Jeff Cobb is he's a low center of gravity.
Ground and pound, yeah.
Yeah, he's a wrestler. Will Ospreay can fly from anywhere. So this match has it could be a pretty amazing match. So I'm really
looking forward
excited.
to it, dude. Yeah.
I am too.
For real. Like, are they going to unify the titles or just
just a winner take all? So I think whoever wins is going to be a double champion.
And there's two of those matches in this event.
Yes.
Winner take all tag team match. Yep.
The next match I have listed here is Rush versus Dalton Castle.
I love Dalton Castle.
This is going to be awesome. Dalton Castle, I'm a huge fan of. He's actually making his return here. He's been injured for a while.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to see how he's going to be knocking the rust off, jumping right into fighting at Madison Square Garden after the big layoff. Rush is a wrestler that's really starting to come around. He's really starting to make a name for himself. He actually had the nickname the most hated wrestler in CMLL. So like he's known as being a big time heel in CMLL. He is now officially full time with Ring of Honor.
Awesome.
And he's already put on some big matches. He's been feuding with the Kingdom with Matt Taven.
Right.
So he's really making a name for himself really quickly and facing somebody the caliber of Dalton Castle, who's a former Ring of Honor champion. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a very exciting match. If you guys have never seen either one of these guys, you guys are not going to be disappointed. This is going to be a lot of fun. So
I agree. Did anybody take Flip Gordon's spot this year? Was Flip advertised before he got hurt again?
Flip was not advertised. He was rumored to be the one that answers Bully Ray's challenge.
Okay.
But somebody did come out the other day and say that he is accepting it. So
yes, they did. That's right.
Get to that one in just a second. The next match they have listed is for the Women of Honor World Championship. It's Mayu Iwatani versus Kelly Klein. Iwatani's coming in as the Women of Honor champion. She is incredible. Like she's arguably, in my opinion, one of the best female wrestlers in the world. If you guys haven't seen her,
I actually like her better than Io Shirai. I can never pronounce her fucking name right.
Yeah, Io Shirai. Yeah,
Io Shirai, and I like her better than Kairi Sane. I think she's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, she is awesome. She's kind of like a good hybrid of all of those, throwing in.
Yeah.
I would say she reminds me of. She's like more of a high flying version of Asuka.
Yeah.
Where she's very stiff with her strikes. She throws that strong style in there very well. And Kelly Klein is very, very well known as well. She's really been making a name for herself. She's only been in Ring of Honor she's been there for a couple years now, I guess.
Yeah.
But she's really been on a roll lately. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Are we doing predictions? I didn't know if we said we're gonna do predictions or we're just gonna run through the card.
We can. I mean, that's fine. I don't really know how to predict the pre-show, but we can predict the main show for sure.
Okay. Right.
If you want to go back and just go back to the first match, that's fine.
Yeah, we'll start with Ospreay and Cobb.
That's tough. God damn, that's tough. It's maybe harder to pick than freaking NXT, man. I'm telling you. To me, my heart says Ospreay, but Cobb has a lot of steam behind him now, so I can see Cobb taking that winner takes all for sure.
Yeah, this is now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, man, this is gonna be tough. Like this entire card's gonna be like shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
like either pure person or either team or whatever. I could see winning most of these matches.
No shit.
And that's what's gonna make another reason this card's gonna be so good. It's because it's gonna be so unpredictable that anybody could come in here and win. Especially when you have a winner take all match from two different organizations like this. It's like, okay, which direction are they gonna go?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with Jeff Cobb as well, just because I know Will Ospreay doesn't do a lot with Ring of Honor.
Right.
So if he was going to be the Ring of Honor television champion, he would need to be on Ring of Honor television a lot more than he
point.
is.
Right.
So I think I'm going to go Jeff Cobb on this one as well.
Okay.
All right. Next match is Rush versus Dalton Castle.
Dalton Castle all the way for me. I think he has to win. He's easy established guy. Unless they want to put Rush over, and try to build some steam behind him. I just got to go with Dalton because I love him. Just me. Maybe it's more betting with my heart, but yeah, he's fucking fantastic. They're both great, but I love Dalton so much.
Yeah,
I love
do
you, Dalton.
too.
I just want to let you know I love you.
Yeah, my heart wants to go with Dalton Castle. I don't know though, just because Rush is moving up the ranks so quickly, and he has been in some pretty high-profile feuds with Matt Taven, who's going to be in the world title match coming up toward the end of this card.
Yeah.
So I think this might be a pushing scenario for Rush, where he gets that win over the returning world champion.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Rush on this one.
Okay.
All right, next match is Iwanati versus Kelly Klein for the Women of Honor World Championship.
I just can't. I mean, like you said, Kelly Klein is up and coming. She's been there for a couple of years. She's very, very good. I just don't see Iwatani losing. I have so much trouble with Jap. You're from fucking Arkansas. I'm from Connecticut. I can't even pronounce fucking Japanese names. I'm just, it's just weird to me.
I'm not going to lie. It helped that I've looked at this for like the last 2 hours. So I've been kind of running it through my head a little bit, just kind of practicing while we're talking. So
Iwatani takes the win on that one. She retains the title.
All right. I think I agree with you. I think Iwatani she's awesome. And I think they want to keep this title on her. Kelly, the Women of Honor's division is really, really good right now. They got very, very stacked.
They got to be careful who they lose come contract time because AEW's been trying to scoop everybody.
Well, they lost to Neil Dashwood earlier this week.
So like I said, you got to be real careful about that. They are like everybody's that good.
Yeah. So this is going to be a fun match, but I think Iwatani, I think she retains, and probably pretty hard-hitting match for the most part.
Yeah, I think Kelly's going to get her ass beat, but hopefully she can hold her own.
All right, the next match we have is the New York Street Fight. It was an open challenge that Bully Ray made pretty much for anybody. He said, I don't care who you work for. He's like, I'm going to whoop somebody's ass at Madison Square Garden. I don't care who it is. Whoever wants to show up.
Love it.
The original thought was it was going to be Flip Gordon.
Right.
There were some conflicting reports that he was never the choice. I don't know if that's true or not.
They took so long to announce who his opponent was. Like, I don't think they announced until this past week.
Yeah, it was like a couple days ago. Juice Robinson, the former CJ Parker from WWE, and is he currently the IWGP United States champion? I think he is. Yes. He answered Bully Ray's call. He said, "Yeah, I'll be there. I'll see you in New York, and I'll beat your ass too." So we got Bully Ray versus Juice Robinson in the New York Street Fight. A lot of people only remember Juice Robinson as CJ Parker when he was that jobber in NXT.
Right.
Dude, he has done a great job of really turning his career around.
Oh, fuck yeah, he has. Like, I kind of expected a bigger name, and that's no slight on Juice at all. But I expected maybe like a surprise, like, older opponent, just like
Tommy Dreamer or something.
Yeah, like a nostalgia kind of thing.
Yeah, Sandman, something like that.
Yeah, I'm okay with this. I really am.
I am too.
You're right. Juice has done a fantastic job of rebuilding his character and rebuilding, like, who he really is.
Yeah.
Because he was treated so unfairly in NXT that I'm actually excited for this match. I expect Juice to go over on this one.
I think so too. I think
Bully doesn't need to win.
No. I think Juice wins this as well. This is going to be a physical ass match.
Oh yeah, there's probably gonna be tables involved and
probably some blood.
Yeah,
you're gonna get it all in this match.
Yeah.
I mean, his name is Juice Robin.
Right?
Yeah.
I love that.
Bad joke.
Nice. No, I like your wordplay there.
But I hope you guys do watch this for Juice Robinson because he's not CJ Parker. This is not CJ Parker.
Yeah, get that out of your mind. Yeah.
He's got an attitude to him. He was very limited in NXT with his moveset. This guy can do anything.
He can.
He is absolutely incredible.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they take him back one day, honestly.
Oh, me too. It would not surprise me at all. He's still relatively young. He's 29. So, he's not even the prime of his career yet. So
Yeah, they took back Chris Hero, so there's no reason why they
that's
wouldn't.
true. Yeah,
They wouldn't
right.
take Juice back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I could definitely see that happening. All right. So who you
were like, who the fuck is Chris Hero?
right. That's Cassius Ohno.
Yeah,
for,
Cassius Ohno for all you guys that aren't smart fans.
All right. So who you got? I think you said Juice Robinson in this one, right?
Yes, sir. Yep, all day.
Okay.
Juice
And I think
all day,
I'm
man.
going to agree with you. I think this will be a big win for him, coming back over to the States, back in his old stomping grounds, I guess.
Yeah.
And he wants to tell people, "Hey, I'm not fucking CJ Parker anymore. I'm Juice
A lot of
Robinson."
people have
So,
gone to Japan to rebuild themselves and make a name for themselves. It's really a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
To learn your craft, learn that strong style. Like learn the way they do business over there, and try to apply some of that when you come back.
Yeah.
It's really worked out for a lot of people. It worked out for
Yeah.
AJ.
I mean, yeah,
As
AJ
AJ was, like AJ came back 10 times better.
Yeah.
As a solid performer.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. That AJ was already known as one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Yep.
Then he went to New Japan and became the best wrestler in the world.
Gallows and Anderson, Finn Balor, everybody, all those guys, like everybody, like, dude, they know how to make fucking stars over in Japan. Say what you want about Meltzer and how much he fucking loves New Japan and all that, but like, New Japan's legit.
I mean, there's a reason he loves New Japan too, because they're good and they they do know their stuff. So
yeah.
Okay, the next match is for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. For those of you who don't know, the Junior Heavyweight Championship is, I don't want to say the equivalent of the Cruiserweight title. I would say it reminds me more of the X Division title in TNA, where it is more of a big deal. It's kind of like I would say it's more their secondary. I know they have the Intercontinental in the United States there as well, but the Junior Heavyweight is their second title, I think.
It's a big deal, and I'm telling you right now, Jeff, this is my sleeper match of the fucking card.
This match is going to rock, dude.
Yeah, I think this is really going to open people's eyes
to
how good these guys are, and I think it's going to be the sleeper match. I think it's going to be a lot better than people are expecting.
Yep. And I want to tell you guys real quick about the Junior Heavyweight Championship. Finn Balor was a Junior Heavyweight Champion. Kenny Omega was a Junior Heavyweight Champion before they became Heavyweight champions.
That's all you need.
I mean, this is where you go up the ladder. Is with this title.
Yep, I agree.
This match is going to be Taiji Ishimori, you for me to say, Dragon Lee versus Bandito in a 3-way match.
And all three of them are fantastic.
Guys,
they really are.
The only thing I can say about this match is bring some popcorn. Don't look away.
Don't blink. Yeah, don't fucking blink.
Not because it's going to end quickly, because you're going to miss something if you do.
Right. We're on the same page, man. 100%.
Yeah, this match is going to be 3 of the best high flyers in the world.
Yeah.
Just going out there, just doing their thing.
And that might not be a lot of people's, style, or not a lot of people may like that kind of, but just give it a chance.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. You guys
I'm old school as they get. Right. I can't wait for this fucking match.
Yeah, this match is going to be so good. I'm so looking forward to it. You got a pick?
I fuck, dude. I wish I had a 3-sided coin. Like, I don't know who to fucking pick. You know what I mean? Like, it could go either way. So I'm just gonna fucking close my eyes. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Dragon Lee. I'll go out there. I'll take Dragon Lee.
All right.
I honestly, they're all good, dude.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with a pick on this one, because either of these 3 guys can.
And anybody can win. Even as great as a champion Ishimori is, anybody can win. They're just, I'm telling you, it's a sleeper match of the fucking card.
It is, yeah. And man, this is, like you said, can I borrow that coin if you don't mind?
You're right. Yeah, no shit. Just close your eyes, circle your finger around, and just land on something.
Going through a process of elimination. The only person I don't see walking out of this with the title is Bandito, just because he's a full-time Ring of Honor contracted superstar.
And that makes sense.
So that's the only reason I don't.
I was worried about this. I'm glad you brought that up. I was worried that logistics was going to play a part in the booking of this event, only because New Japan, although they want to have a permanent presence here. Don't get me wrong. Like they're moving towards that in the future. I don't think they're there yet. So you kind of have to keep that in mind but fuck, you never know what can happen. You never know what their lifestyle situations are. They can move out to Japan, or they can move here if they want. You never know what's going to happen. So
and one-offs happen. Hell, Taz was the ECW champion when he was in WWE.
Yep,
they happen.
He beat God, what the fuck was his name? Mike Awesome, right?
Yeah, Mike Awesome was ECW champion when he was in WCW. Yep. So or go to WCW. Yeah.
Yep.
But so really, I mean, you can use that mindset. The next match we're about to talk about, I think that goes out the window.
You didn't pick anybody. You said.
Oh, I know. I'm not getting. I'm gonna get there.
I thought you were gonna try to squirm out of that.
No. I'm not moving on yet. I'm just saying when we get to the next match,
Okay.
that logic's gonna go out the window.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna take Ishimori in this. I think he keeps the title. He is a pretty prominent member of the Bullet Club now, and I think they're working on building them back up.
That's true.
So I think that I don't see. I don't want to give that away yet. So
okay. All right.
So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Ishimori keeping the title in this match in a amazing match. That might steal the entire weekend.
I'm telling you, yeah, it could. It very well could.
Another thing is I didn't mention this, but do you know how much these guys are going to go out there after Takeover?
God, yeah.
Takeover is going to be incredible. These guys are going to be like, you know what? I got something for you. You thought Takeover was good.
Yep, just down the road, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, all eyes are on Takeover right now, but I'm telling you guys, as much as I love WWE and NXT, New Japan and fucking ROH, man, they're really, really good. John and I were talking about this last week. How great is fucking Ring of Honor? They lose half their fucking roster, and they still are able to get other stars and build other stars and still put on great fucking shows. Not just aside from this super card, they have a great fucking roster right now. Yeah, they really do.
Yeah, they always do.
And it's a credit to whoever books for them or whoever signs their talent. You lose Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Chris Hero over the years. You know what I mean? You lose Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. I mean, year after year they lose their biggest talent.
Yep.
But still are able to keep somebody in there. Jay fucking Lethal. Nobody counted him on to being a big star. Like when he was great in TNA.
Yeah.
But nobody ever expected him to be a world champion.
And he's the face of Ring of Honor and has been for a while now.
He started out becoming the TV champion and he was building steam and he's been there 5-6 years now. I mean, he's been there a long time, like maybe longer.
When I went to Supercard of Honor in 2014, he was the TV champion.
Yeah.
And next to Kevin Owens, I would say he got the biggest reaction of the night. Yeah,
Kevin Owens another one. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's the face of Ring of Honor now. It's awesome.
It couldn't happen to a better guy. He's so fucking cool. We almost had him on the show this week, but just his schedule was just too tight with everything they have going on. He will be on our show in the coming weeks. So
yep. I'm looking forward to talking to him.
We're excited for that too. I wanted to do some Black Machismo on here, man. I love me some Randy Savage, man. I just want to have a whole conversation with him, like as Randy Savage.
So we got to get a conversation with Randy Savage, Vince McMahon, and Johnny Ace.
There you go. Yeah, I love it.
So good.
That's money. I bet he'd be in for that too.
He probably would.
But yeah, all right.
Speaking of people that have been on the Rad Turtles Wrestling podcast, little transition to the next match that's about to take that.
Yes, I love you, man. You're so good. Yeah, look at you all segueing and shit.
I know you taught me well.
That's right.
We have the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, the Villain Enterprises, which is the aforementioned PCO and Brody King. Yep. Against the IWGP Tag Team Champions, the Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa.
How good are they, dude? Holy fuck.
Yeah, they're awesome. And they're the sons of Haku, Ming, if you don't know that.
Yep.
They're awesome.
That's why they're that good.
And also in this match is Evil and Sonata, who are arguably one of the biggest tag teams in New Japan. And in my opinion, the biggest tag team in Ring of Honor, and maybe one of the greatest tag teams of all time, in my opinion.
They've been there.
Briscoe brothers, Mark and Jim.
They've been there a long time, man. Yeah,
they've been there since the day it started.
They've had every chance to leave, and they're fucking homers, man. And I love it.
They could have came to WWE 12 years ago.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, absolutely. What a fucking hard match to pick, dude.
Dude,
this might be the hardest one to pick.
This match is going to be. You talk about a car wreck.
Oh fuck yeah! This is going to be smash mouth in your fucking face, dude. Like a brutal brawl.
Yeah,
absolutely.
8 guys.
Goddamn, I got to go with Brody and PCO because PCO is my boy. I mean, I'm going with my heart on that one, and they just became the ROH Tag Team Champions, and that's PCO said on the show. This is the biggest event of his career, and he's been around the fucking horn, man, for the last 25, 30 years. So he knows he knows the magnitude of the event. He understands the gravity of the situation and the magnitude of the situation.
Yep.
And I think. it'd be the wrong time to take the titles off of them at this point since they just got them. Even though they're against literally the top talent in the world. I'm going to go with Brody and PCO on this one. It's hard, man. It's a hard match to pick. I'm just going with pure emotion in my heart right now because PCO is my fucking boy, man. He's so good.
I originally heard this was going to be a ladder match, but I guess they decided not to go that route.
That'd be dangerous. That'd be really dangerous.
Yeah, but I've seen
all these guys are willing to take the fucking risk. You see PCO do a goddamn moonsault at 51 years old off the top of the fucking ladder, dude. And he'll probably do it off the top rope to the outside of the ring. Like that motherfucker. PCO is money, man. He's so good. Yeah. He's better now than he was when he wrestled 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And he gets to be at Madison Square Garden again. It's fucking. I love it for him. I really do.
I do too.
Such a great guy. His character scares the fuck out of me. But
yeah, you told me that before the interview. You're like, his character scares me. I'm nervous to talk to him.
Yeah,
I'm like,
but Carl Ouellet, the person, man, he's a fucking great dude. He really is. He's class act. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
So humble too, man.
Oh yeah.
So who are you taking then?
So this is when the booking of the show gets really interesting for me.
Okay.
Because then I'm starting to wonder, okay, when do politics start coming into this show?
Yep.
Because we have a couple matches that they're going to start booking for the future.
Right.
And so I have
all these guys have been around a while.
Yeah. And I have a thought on how I think they want to end the show, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Like, my heart wants to lead toward the Briscoes winning this match because they are the longest reigning team here, and they I think they deserve both belts.
Who knows how long they have left too?
Right. But also, I made this point to PCO when we interviewed him that I could see the final thing we see in the middle of the ring at Madison Square Garden is Villain Enterprises standing there with all the gold.
I love that. God, that you want to talk about getting a faction over? Holy fuck, dude!
Yeah,
yeah, huge.
So yeah, it's huge. So you know what? I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go with, and this isn't a homer pick because we love PCO,
right?
But I'm going to go Villain Enterprises also, and I think they're gonna win because I think there's a reason that they put the Ring of Honor tag team titles on them recently.
Yeah, now
why now? Why not just keep them on the Briscoes?
Right. I don't think it's a one-off. I really
don't think it is either. I think there's a reason why they put those titles on them.
Because they're fucking money.
They are. And they know it because they came on the Rad Turtles Wrestling podcast.
That's right. The fucking hottest podcast on the planet, man.
So, yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to go Villain Enterprises, PCO, and Brody King.
Do it. Oh, I can't wait for that fucking match. I can't wait for all these matches. Really.
Yeah. Yeah, this is so good. And now that I'm breaking it down, too, I'm even more like, dude, like,
our weekend is gonna be. I'm watching this over the Hall of Fame. I'll watch the Hall of Fame on demand. We're watching this fucking event, dude.
You know what? And nothing against the Hall of Fame. I'm excited for the Hall of Fame, but this is different.
This is their WrestleMania. This really is. This is the biggest event of the year.
This is a lot of fans' WrestleMania. Like people are gonna look forward to this more than
and historically, let's look at the past WrestleMania weekends. Yeah. There's a lot of wrestling companies, a lot of people that will piggyback off of WWE. They're stupid not to.
Yeah.
But you'll ask a lot of wrestling fans that come in for this weekend's, they will tell you the ROH show is the best fucking show of the weekend. It really is.
I've said this for 5 years now.
Aside from TakeOver now. TakeOver is, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's hot. There's a hot crowd for TakeOver. But there's a fucking hot crowd for ROH as well.
Yeah. And New Japan. I don't know if fans got over
or not, but dude, I'm telling you, this is one of the best cards I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it really is. Honestly,
I'll
put this up against fucking WrestleMania card. I'm not just blowing up their ass. Like legit, like this.
I agree.
Fuck, I'm so excited to watch this, man. I'm telling you.
You know, I've been saying this for 5 years now. You know, I went to WrestleMania 30. I saw the streak end. I saw the Yes Movement finally get to the top.
Yep.
But I had more fun at Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor, watching Jay Briscoe and Adam Cole have a ladder war match.
Yeah, it's a fucking blast, man.
And I had the time of my life.
Such a great atmosphere. It really is. It's free spirit, man, and nothing's fucking heavily scripted. There's no giant production crew. It's just fucking. It's old school wrestling, man. It's like you remember as a kid, just just going to these fucking old arenas and shit, and where it's just all about them coming to your town and being fucking excited to watch them, and they're gonna put on a good show. They're all gonna give their all in the ring, like ECW, man. Like they're all gonna give everything they got for us in that ring. And it's a completely different atmosphere. It really is. It's a completely different crowd.
It is. It's awesome. It's so much fun. All right, so the next match we have is for the British Heavyweight Championship. It is between champion Zack Sabre Jr.
Fuck, man. Like it just keeps getting better.
I know. Zack Sabre Jr. against Hiroshi Tanahashi.
What the fuck, Tanahashi, man? Like
one of the biggest Japanese stars of all time.
It easily could be a main event match, but the rest of the card is so fucking stacked. Like it's fucking Tanahashi, dude.
Yeah.
It's like the fucking John Cena of Japan, right now. You know what I mean?
Arguably the top British wrestler in the world in Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, Goddamn, pal. I wish I had those guys on my fucking. No, you're not. You could have had those guys, but you didn't make a play for them.
Hey, Zack Sabre was in the first Cruiserweight Classic.
So. Yeah, he was, and they let him slide.
Yep. There's another person on this card they did the same with.
Yeah,
we'll get to that in a minute too.
I have to say, at this point in his career, Tanahashi doesn't need the win.
Yeah,
like he's still over no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
If he wants to give Zach the rub and give him the push, I gotta go with Zach. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that, but
yeah, actually,
to me, just logical booking wise, no matter what Tanahashi does, he's still gonna be fucking over and regarded and revered as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, not just in Japan but of all time. So if you really want to give Sabre Jr. some fucking steam and build him as a credible champion, you got to go with him. Isn't it weird though to have a Japanese wrestler for a British heavyweight title? I don't know. It just seems it seems a little funny that it's like we're used to Tanahashi, going for the Intercontinental title and stuff like that. But I
guess it's an American point of view though, because
I guess so. Yeah, it might be.
Because I wonder if somebody from Britain watches Shinsuke Nakamura go for the WWE Championship, they think the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, you might be right. Well, I mean, WWE is global, so I don't know if you want to use that quite as an example, but
yeah,
it kind of be like if Shinsuke went over to NXT UK and fought for their title, that'd be a little fucking weird, wouldn't it?
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true because I watched their takeover event they had, and Finn Balor had a match, and I was like, this is weird.
Yeah, right. It's weird. But fucking anytime you got Tanahashi on the card, it's going to be a fucking spectacle. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to go with Zach on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go Zach too. They've been pushing Zach for a while now.
Yeah.
A good year at least. He had a couple really good matches with Okada when Okada was champion, and really took him to the limit. And there was a lot of people that thought Zach was going to win the IWGP from him. Right. So they've really put him on a high pedestal and really showcased him a lot. And a win over Tanahashi is huge. Tanahashi was the IWGP champion before he lost it to Jay White. So it's still pretty fresh in everybody's mind how big of a champion Tanahashi is. Plus, he's Tanahashi, So,
yep. Absolutely right.
Yeah, I think this would be a huge win for Zack Sabre, and being in front of the MSG crowd, that people can see Zack Sabre and who he is, and people don't know who he is. You guys are going to be impressed. He's not a high flyer, but he is the most technical. I don't even know how to put it. What he does, like he works over limbs, he works over digits. Yeah. He does submissions you've never seen in your life before, just out of nowhere. He's crazy to watch, and so I think this will be a big win for Zack Sabre. I think this is going to be a really fun match.
I think a lot of ROH fans are smart, but there are going to be a lot of people that are going that may not know a lot about either federation or organization, and their eyes are really going to be open to how good these men and women really are. Honestly, that's just my opinion.
And there's going to be so many smart fans there because it's WrestleMania weekend.
Obviously.
So you're going to get that British crowd part of this too, which is going to be, oh God, the British crowd going for Zack Sabre. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude, that's going to be incredible.
But for the people that aren't familiar with New Japan specifically, your eyes are going to be open to how good these people really are.
Yeah, everybody got a taste at All In last year, but now you guys are going to really see how deep New Japan really goes. And these guys, that it's not just the Kenny, it's not just the Kenny.
And how long is this show going to be? Like each match could go fucking 45 minutes.
I think it's going to be about 5 hours. I think it's going to be about a 5-hour show.
Yeah, it really could be. Honestly, yeah, for sure.
So let's not slow down and go to the next match.
Yeah, right. Yeah, let's keep.
Which we have Tetsuya Naito, the IWGP Intercontinental Champion, against Kota Ibushi.
Jesus.
My God.
Right? It's fucking relentless.
Personally, this is two of my favorites in New Japan.
For sure.
So I am super looking forward to this. What do you think?
I agree. They're both fantastic. But I lean more towards Ibushi. I think Kota Ibushi will be in WWE one day. That's my opinion. I don't necessarily want him to go there because they fucked up Shinsuke for us and everybody, and they fucked up Kenta. So I mean, but no, I'm going with Kota Ibushi on this one.
Man, this is another one that could steal the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I've always said that Naito reminds me of like the Japanese version of The Rock.
Yep.
Like he's got so much charisma.
He does.
And
he does.
Ibushi is just he's Kota Ibushi. You know, he's so good.
Everybody knows who he is. Yep.
You know, I have to disagree with one thing you said though, talking about Kota Ibushi coming to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
He got offered a huge contract to come to AEW with Kenny Omega, who's like one of his best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "No, I'm gonna stay in New Japan. I'm gonna sign a big contract because I want to stay here." And like I feel like if he didn't go with his best friend to AEW,
he's not gonna go to WWE.
He won. Yeah, he's in New Japan for life.
Right. Which is fine with me. That's okay. Either way, I mean, you know, as long as he's featured, it doesn't matter where he is. I personally, for me, I'd love to see him at WrestleMania. I think he's that good.
Oh, I do too. I like that he is that good easily. But and also with that said, I think that could play a part in putting this title on him.
Right.
Because,
yeah. Absolutely.
Because he's very, very well regarded, and now they know he's a homer. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Which Naito is the same way, but. This would be a huge win for Ibushi, and becoming the Intercontinental Champion. Like now, he can kind of show what he can do without Kenny Omega. Also, that he can start moving up that ladder, and I think he'll be in that run for the Heavyweight Championship sooner than later. And why not put that Intercontinental title on him first?
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I'm going to go with Ibushi as well. All right. So the next match is. They have this one listed second to last, but I actually think this is going to be the main event, in my opinion. But this is where I got the ladder match thought. I thought it was the tag team match, but it's not. It's this match.
Yeah.
So this is for the Ring of Honor World Championship. This is between champion Jay Lethal versus the villain Marty Scurll versus Matt Taven from the Kingdom.
Marty Scurll has been everywhere for the last year. His name is involved in just about everything you could think of.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to ROH and indie promotions, like he's the next big thing. He really is.
He is.
He's awesome. As great as Jay is, as great as Matt Taven is, Matt Taven will be there at some point. Marty Scurll's a fucking man, dude, and I think he's gonna take the ROH World Championship.
I agree with you, and we talked about how. Villain, we picked PCO and Brody King to win.
Yeah, I'm not just picking that because you mentioned that. I think
right.
he's everybody. Even if you don't even know anything about him, you've heard his name. He's been everywhere, and he's done a fucking fantastic job of getting himself over.
Yeah, there is one cloud hanging over this match though,
mm-hmm.
and it's been discussed a little bit, but not a whole lot. Is what is Marty Scurll's plans?
Right?
Is he going to AEW? There's been talk that he might be going to WWE?
Yep.
So if those are not answered yet, do you put the title on him?
Yeah, if you want to stay, fuck yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Here, man, here's a 6 month or here's a year fucking title reign. Have at it.
Yeah.
We'll put you over, man.
Yeah. I think Scurll, Jay Lethal's been a great champion. He's been a champion for a long time now. Like, God, I don't remember how long it's been. It's been a really long time. He and Matt Taven went to a 60-minute Broadway at the anniversary show. So I think a lot of people's minds like, okay, we've seen that. Okay, they went an hour and we didn't get a champion, or we didn't get a clear-cut winner.
Right.
Now they have a ladder match, so obviously we're going to get a winner. Marty Scurll is the wild card in this, and he's the villain. So I like the idea of Villain Enterprises standing tall with 5 pieces of gold sitting there
Yeah.
at the end of the night.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with Marty Scurll also.
Okay.
And I think it'd be a huge win for him because this might be kind of not a backhanded thing to say, but when you think about the Elite before they went to AEW, Marty Scurll was a part of them, but he was always kind of that odd man out.
Yeah.
It was Kenny and the Bucks and Cody and all those guys, and then over here you kind of had Marty Scurll.
Right.
Even Hangman Page was kind of a part of it more than Scurll was. So now Marty Scurll's got Villain Enterprises, which he's the leader of, which is kind of, in my opinion, the new Elite in Ring of Honor. So he needs that moment to show, okay, I'm the man, I'm the champion now, and I think this is it. I think this is where it's going to happen.
I agree. I like it.
All right. So the last match on the card is for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Switchblade Jay White, versus Kazuchika Okada.
I mean, everybody knows who Okada is. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
But that being said, Jay White is on the up and up, and he has been for a while. There's a reason why they made him the IWGP champion, because he's really made a name for himself over the last couple of years.
Yep.
He's white hot right now, but still, it's fucking Okada. I mean, Okada's been up there with the best of them.
Yep.
It's a hard pick. I have to go with White just because, again, like Tanahashi, Okada's been there.
Yep.
Everybody knows who he is. He's an established superstar. He has been for years. So, I don't think this match is gonna be last. I think the ladder match will be last. I could be wrong. That's just my gut feeling. Yeah, I'm going to go with White retaining the title in this one, just because I think it would benefit him better with the win.
You're a very smart man. Ever told you that?
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You are. You and I are on the same page on a lot of these. Like, I didn't think we would. I thought we'd be different on a lot of these.
Right.
But we're on the same wavelength, which that's not a shocker.
Right. Yeah.
So Okada won the G1 tournament to get this title shot. Everybody kind of knew he was the favorite going into it. He was the biggest name next to Ibushi.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say next to Ibushi. Yeah.
Yeah. But Jay White, man, he's the new leader of the Bullet Club.
Yep.
He's got big wins over Tanahashi. He's beat Okada already.
Yep.
He beat Kenny Omega. Like, he has huge wins to get to where he's at.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
And they're putting the rocket to this guy. Like, he's their guy right now.
Yep.
Do they want to do the big shock? I mean, I don't know if it'd be shocking if Okada won, but do they want to give the fans?
I was gonna say that I really don't see any real shocker moments on this whole card, honestly.
Right, because everybody's so good.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that happening here, but again, it's Okada. Is that really a shocker?
Right.
It could go either way. But
Right.
like you said, Jay White being pushed as fiercely as he has, to me, you got to give him a long, long run. Give me a year or two run.
I think so too. When I've heard some people say, okay, if this match closes the show, do you want to close it with the big title switch for Okada? Yeah, I do see that.
Yeah.
But I don't see this match closing the show though.
I don't either. Only because it's ROH featured and it's in the States,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And I think Marty Scurll winning the Ring of Honor Championship is a bigger deal than Okada winning the IWGP Championship. And I think a lot of fans
for us
watching
being Americans, right?
Right. But just with the show being in America, being at the Garden, and I would say most of the fans that are going to be there are going to be Americans. That the Ring of Honor match will go on last, and that'll be the big shocking way to end it. Like I said, with Marty Scurll winning the title, here comes PCO and Brody King, bam, Madison Square Garden, Villain Enterprises standing tall.
Fucking just picture perfect, man. Just the moment to last for the rest of their lives, man. For real, this is their big time. They may never be back there again. Honestly,
they might not
ever
by the
play
way,
MSG again.
A little bit off topic. Do you hear WWE's already booked Madison Square Garden?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, later in the year they're doing a Raw and a SmackDown from it, which they haven't done a television.
Which they haven't done in years. They've been doing fucking house shows every year. That's fucked up. That's
Yeah. You think WWE doesn't know what's going on?
they pay attention to everybody. Trust us.
They know what's going on. So,
But yeah, I think you're right. We're both on the same fucking page for this match.
yeah.
I love it. I think Jay White is the future of this business. He's the next Kenny Omega, and he deserves it.
That's a bold statement, but it's true.
Yeah.
And you know what? And Jay White's another one. He's a smaller guy. He came from that smaller junior heavyweight type role, and then made himself into this badass, and now he's the heavyweight champion.
It just proves, man, hard work and fucking persistence pays off. Be persistent. That's how we fucking run this show.
Yeah.
We're an upstart, but we've already had huge guests on this show. We've only been around for 3 or 4 months. Just being fucking persistent, man. Just never giving up.
That's it. That's what these guys are doing.
These guys say what you want about John Cena, man. Never give up is a fucking mentality that everyone should have. Like, it's true. Hustle, loyalty, and respect, man. You're gonna get it. You hustle. You're fucking loyal to people, you're gonna earn the goddamn respect. And that, John Cena hit it on the head, man. I never really put that all together, but he's right.
He's right. You know what? Every single person on this card is going to be doing that. This is the biggest show of their lives,
and they know
every single one of them. And and a lot of these guys have worked the Tokyo Dome, which is New Japan's biggest show.
Yeah.
But this show is the biggest show of their lives, and they're going to go out there and put everything on the line. And this is going to be one of the best shows you guys will ever watch. I guarantee you. I say that without any doubt in my mind.
I agree with you, brother. And I'm looking literally. We're probably going to talk longer about this than we are NXT because.
Well, it's only 5 matches too. So.
Right, but still, there's more. There's better stories involved here, and to me, a better card. People are gonna fucking shoot me for that. I'm like, you're such a fucking Meltzer, Mark. Trust me, I'm not. Fuck Meltzer. But I love.
That's a bold statement, though.
It really is, though.
Because we're about to get into Takeover, and this might be the best.
And I'm excited for Takeover. Yeah, you're right.
It might be the best Takeover card I've ever seen.
It might be, and trust me, I'm.
God, how good is this weekend gonna be, man?
That's gonna be so good.
My God, dude, just.
Yeah.
Wrestling fans, we're spoiled. We're so spoiled right now.
And I made this point on Twitter. I said, all you fuckers that are tearing down the product now and how wrestling sucks now. Wrestling, I mentioned to Sean Mooney, and I keep name dropping, but hey, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's on our show.
He was on our show.
We can do that. We have that right.
Right. Sean Mooney and I agree that there's a boom right now. Wrestling runs in cycles, but with all the different products we have now between WWE, between Impact is doing the best fucking I wouldn't say business, but they're putting on the best shows they've had in a long time. Unfortunately, nobody's there to see it.
Yep.
But between them and Ring of Honor and the buzz around AEW and the indie scene, any indie scene, go around the country and look at some of these indie shows that small organizations are putting on. It's almost like the fucking territory days again. It really is. It's like a brand new territory system.
Yep.
And it's a great time to be a wrestling fan right now. There's so much wrestling content, maybe too much wrestling content, but there's so much. There's something for everybody. If you don't like WWE right now, go to fucking Impact. If you don't like Impact, check out New Japan. If you don't like that, you got Ring of Honor. You got fucking MLW.
If you don't like that, we don't know what to tell you.
We don't. Yeah, you're fucking the head. So yeah, you got MLW too. There's Shimmer. I mean, look at the women's shit they got going on. Shimmer's
an amazing organization.
I can't for the life of me remember the other one. They just had 2 huge shows in Chicago that Mike Durbin was talking about. Shout out to Mike Durbin. We love Mike Durbin. He's so fucking good. He just went to 2 different shows over the weekend and said it was fantastic, man. The women's wrestling in this country is fucking fantastic right now. There's something for everybody.
Yeah.
It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. And this weekend
everybody should be a wrestling fan.
And this weekend's no exception, man. It's the best weekend of the year.
Yep, sure is.
Well, except for, when AEW comes to town, but
right. And it's the best weekend because I'm gonna be in fucking Nashville this weekend. So
that's right.
That's right. But all right, so the weekend's not over. We still have what's going on Friday night. And that is WWE NXT presenting TakeOver New York.
Man, I'm so excited. I really am.
This is going to be in ways it's going to be similar to the G1, but in ways it's going to be way different.
It's going to be similar in the fact that it's going to be a hot crowd and it's a different presentation than the main roster of WWE.
It's going to be great wrestling. Yeah,
even though it's in the fucking Barclays Center, it's going to be a big arena. It still has that small time feel to it, like Full Sail. Full Sail is fucking fantastic to put a show.
So good. I'm so glad they haven't moved out of there because
Me too.
the small crowd makes it so great, dude.
It really does. It gives you that ECW feel. It gives that old
does.
NWA feel back in the day. Just like the main event. It just focused on wrestling. The crowd is dark. The fucking lights are in the ring. It just let's put on a fucking wrestling show. You know what I mean?
And that's what makes it, as a touring brand, makes it so much better because you can only fit 300 people in Full Sail.
Yeah, and they
like,
keep
okay, we're gonna go
Nashville.
see you now, and then you're gonna go to it because you can't go to Full Sail and watch it.
Yeah,
so
they came to Nashville, and then I can't remember the building it was in. I went there a couple years ago when Finn Balor was the NXT champion, and it was just a small, maybe 400, 500 seat house. It wasn't the Skimmerhorn. I can't remember. It was the Armory. The War. God damn, people are gonna kill me for this. It's called the War. I can't remember what the analogy stands for, but it was a small building. It's kind of like a little symphony hall.
Right.
And it was like almost like the ballroom in New York,
Right.
And it was just a small crowd, and it was fucking hot, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, they did one here at the State House Convention Center, which only holds about 200 people.
Yeah,
and
it's great, man.
You're gonna kick my ass for this.
Yeah.
I did not go because Raw was here the same night. They did Raw at Verizon Arena the same night they did NXT at
You
the
went to
Convention Center.
Raw over NXT.
The reason I went, though, no, SmackDown. Sorry, it was a SmackDown.
Okay.
The reason I went is because I took my sister, and it was her very first live event, and she wanted to go see the main roster.
Okay, all right.
Because she doesn't watch NXT. So
I'll give you
I
a
took
break.
her to SmackDown instead of going to NXT. But,
All your fault, boo.
right. But she had a blast, so
That's good.
it was worth it. So, all right, let's get into it.
Yeah, man.
There's five announced matches for this card. All 5 are title matches. So, which one they start with? Couldn't tell you.
Fuck, I know. No.
But we're gonna start with the NXT Tag Team Championship match. You got the champions, the War Raiders, Hanson and Rowe, versus the winners of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, Aleister Black and Ricochet. So we've talked about Aleister Black and Ricochet quite a bit the last few weeks as a tag team, so we know how good they are. The War Raiders, we know how great they are. We saw them again. We saw them win the titles against Undisputed Era at the last takeover.
Their last takeover was so good. They really opened my eyes to how good they are.
Yeah. And man,
it's gonna be hard hitting.
It is. It's gonna be so hard hitting. It's hard to because there's really not a build to this.
Right.
Because it's the tag team, the winners of the tournament versus the champions.
Yeah.
So, and it's good guys against good guys. I'm not a huge fan of babyface matches.
Right.
But
if you think Black and Ricochet are going to stay on the main roster of WWE, there's really no reason to give them the belts other than just be a cool visual of them walking into WrestleMania with the NXT titles.
Yeah.
The War Raiders just won, so it'd be stupid to take them off of them now and lose all their steam. Yeah. I think they're going to have a long run as tag team champions.
I agree. I agree with completely. Man, are you hurting Aleister Black and Ricochet by having them lose this? Because they lost on Raw Monday, and then they lose here. And what if they lose on Mania as well? Are you taking too much steam away from them at that point?
I'm worried about that as well, and you bring up a great point. But the fact that they've been so dominant on the main roster, I think it makes the War Raiders look that much better and gives them absolute instant credibility, not just because they just beat the fucking Undisputed Era, but to beat these two guys that have been beating everybody on the main roster, which is supposed to be the place to be.
Yep.
It gives that much more credibility to the War Raiders for being credible champions.
Yep. I agree. I totally agree. So I'm guessing you're going War Raiders with your pick?
Yeah, if you couldn't tell.
Right. And I am going to go the same. I think this is going to be a really fun. I hope this is the opener. I don't think it'll be the opener. I think the next match we'll talk about will be the opener. But I don't know. I don't know that they've been open in the last couple with the tag teams. Now that I think about it, so
I think the UK title is going to open up, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think so too. Which is a good segue. That's what we're going to get into next. Is the singles match for the WWE United Kingdom Championship. Champion Pete Dunne, who's been the champion for almost 2 years now.
The Bruiserweight.
Because the Bruiserweight, who we're both huge fans of.
Huge.
Versus Walter.
Everyone's like, who the fuck is Walter?
I know. And I love that. I love that people don't know who Walter is.
Yeah.
Because you guys are going to be impressed with Walter. Walter's a big bruiser type guy that can just absolutely go. I talked about, I mentioned Zack Sabre being probably maybe the hottest, most well-known British wrestler.
Yeah.
I might be wrong because it might actually be Walter. Walter is a huge, huge name over there, and now he's part of the NXT UK. Man, these guys, the build's been interesting to this because they actually tagged together a couple times. At the UK takeover when Pete Dunne retained his title, Walter came out and had a face-off with them. But really, that's mostly the most they've done. I can't remember that they may have had one pull apart, something like that. But it's pretty much, the long reigning champion against this very, very big star from the United Kingdom coming over and trying to take the title from him. And this is gonna be a really fun match. This is gonna surprise a lot of people. Of course, Pete Dunne's known for putting on great matches, but you guys are gonna like Walter a lot. You guys are
Yeah.
really, really impressed with him. What you got for a pick for this one?
Man, it's tough. I think it's Walter's time. I think he's so fucking hot right now. It's really hard for me to pick against him. And even though people are like, "What the fuck, dude? It's Pete Dunne." Yeah, Pete Dunne's fantastic, and we love Pete Dunne. Don't get us wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a pretty good reign as fucking champion.
Yep.
It's been what, almost 2 years, I think.
Yeah, close to 2 years. Yep.
So I think this is Walter's time. Yeah, I mean, Walter has the fucking pedigree. He's been everywhere.
Yeah.
He's I don't know if he's the current Progress World Champion, but he's been in Evolve, he's been in Progress, he's been in PWG, he's been Defiant Wrestling. I mean, he's been all over the place, earning a name for himself. Had a fantastic match with fucking PCO last year, Joey Janela at Spring Break.
Mm-hmm.
That really put him on the map, and it really sparked the resurgence of PCO. It was fucking such a good match. It really was. If you guys haven't seen that match, I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. Go look that up. But that being said, I think the big Walter push comes. I think the American fans are really going to learn who he is.
Yeah, I think so too. I want to make something clear. I said that he's a big name over in the United Kingdom and Britain. He is Austrian, but he got his name, in my opinion, over in the United Kingdom. That's
yes, he did.
So I want somebody arrested me and be like, he's Austrian, not British. Like, okay, it's not us saying, but yeah, I think this is the time. They want to establish Walter and prove that he is a big deal, that he is this monster and he's going to be reigning terror in NXT UK. Yep. And also, I heard rumors of this. I don't know if it's true or not, but Pete Dunne might be coming to the American NXT full time.
Yeah, I heard that too. He finished up all his contracted dates in the UK as far as indie stuff.
Yeah,
and so I think he is on his way here.
Yeah, so I think he is on his way over here. So I see no better time.
I wasn't using that as a factor in my decision.
No, I know. But
even though that's probably what it is.
I am going to.
Right, yeah.
So
no, I think yeah, it's Walter's. It's Walter's.
Yeah. And you know what, guys? I might be going out on a limb here. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a quick match.
Really?
I mean, they could obviously go in there and have a barn burner, a great match. But I could see Walter going in there, destroying Pete Dunne, taking that title from him. And then you really go, oh, okay, this guy is for real.
No shit.
This guy's a monster. Yeah. So either way, like I said, they could put on a 25-minute classic. This could be over in 2 minutes with Walter just destroying Dunne. Which I'm going to go to limit, so that's what's going to happen.
As much as I love Mauro Ranallo, I can't wait for Nigel McGuinness to make the call in this match. Like, he's going to be so fucking fired up.
He's going to love this. Yeah.
Good deal, man. I like it.
Yeah. All right, so next we have for the NXT North American Championship, the champion, the Velveteen Dream against the King of Bros, Matt Riddle.
They're both so fucking over right now.
I know.
It's really
so
hard to
over,
pick.
dude.
So over. And Dream's been over for a while, to his credit. Even when he was a heel, people are still chanting for him. But Riddle is hot right now, man. He's the next big thing. I see him actually leading the face of the company by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But And I know a lot of people are picking Riddle because he has that momentum. I can't fucking say momentum. Goddamn Dashy. I'm telling you. They just put the title on Dream. Why would you make him lose it now? Unless he's on his way up to the main roster.
Right.
So I'm gonna go anti what people are thinking. I'm gonna go Dream retains the title. I have to pull some kind of a long shot here, because we're pretty much on the same page. So I'm gonna go with Dream.
See, this is why
Come on,
we're
really?
the best, dude. Yeah.
You're going with Dream?
I'm going with Dream. I don't think it's quite Riddle's time yet.
Okay.
And man, the main event really sparks my interest. I think the main event has something to do with this match too.
Right.
Because with the main event, you have Gargano and Cole, who are both heels.
Yeah.
And so, let's say you do have Dream drop the title to Riddle, and you talk about moving Dream up. Well, which I guess would work because Dream's a babyface, Riddle's a babyface. So,
I think Dream will play the heel in this match. By the way,
I think he will in this match. Yeah, just because Matt Riddle he's such a white meat babyface.
Yeah.
Man, the more I think about it, the more this match is, man, it could go 50-50, it could go either way. But I think they want to keep the title on Dream right now. Maybe you go ahead and move Riddle up. I don't know. Up to the NXT title picture.
Do you think Dream was a transitional champion because they had to get off of Gargano because they knew they were going to move with him originally with him and Ciampa?
That's a good point too. That's very true because they did take the title off of Gargano really quickly, and a lot of people really questioned it. So he could be, yeah. And maybe they have bigger plans for Dream after this. And
I'm not trying to talk you out of your fucking pick.
and you know what? I think it's going to work. I think you did it because I don't think Matt Riddle's ready for the NXT Championship run yet.
Right.
I think he needs that North American title for a little while. Dream is obviously ready, so you could do Dream against Cole or Gargano, either one. And Dream's already had his issues with Undisputed Era, so
Yep.
You know what? You talked me out of it. I'm gonna go Matt Riddle. I think. I think he's kind of fit for that spot right now, and I think the NXT North American title will be better utilized with him than Dream at this point. Dream's kind of above that title, right?
I can hear it now. You're trying to fucking bait Turtles into making a fucking different pick from you, or you're fucking leading him to the right answer. No, shut the fuck up.
You know what? If I do get
Jeff can make his own goddamn opinion. He's a fucking adult.
So.
Right. I like it.
All right. So the next match we have is a fatal four-way for the NXT Women's Championship. You have the longtime champion Shayna Baszler versus Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, and Kairi Sane. So this is not an elimination match. This is a one fall to a finish.
Okay.
And so there you go.
I think it's definitely somebody else's time to take the title, but it's definitely not Bianca Belair's time yet. I think they did a really good job of building her up at last takeover, but I thought she lost some steam when she lost. And I don't think, although I think she has the potential to be good, I have nothing invested in her right now. I personally don't care for her character at all.
Right.
To me, I don't think she should be champion yet until she proves something to me. That being said, I think it's Shirai's time to shine. Kyrie's been there. Shayna's obviously been there for a while. I think it's her time to get a push.
All right. Finally, something we disagree on.
Okay, good.
It took us 2 cards, and we finally got there. So I think it is Bianca Belair's time. I think physically she matches up with Shayna better than anybody else in the division.
I just don't think people get behind her though.
I think they are more because she had that spot against Shayna one-on-one. So people did get to know her a little better at that point. And they put on a pretty good match. I thought it was a decent match.
It wasn't a bad match at all. No.
I think Shirai and Sane are going to move up to the main roster soon as a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
And cause I think they want to boost up that women's tag team division a little bit. So I could see Bianca beating either Shirai or Kairi Sane. That way Shayna Baszler doesn't get beat.
Right. I definitely think Baszler's not going to be involved in the decision.
Right. And so I think that's how you kind of book that one going forward. That you get the title change, you get it on Belair, and then you have the angry Baszler coming after her. And they're so behind Shayna Baszler, which they should because she's incredible. So I could see her eventually being that 3-time women's or NXT Women's Champion by the time she leaves, which is a record nobody will probably catch.
Nobody will. Yeah.
So I think this is the time, and I think this is where Belair will get the title, and then we'll get Belair and Shayna going forward.
Okay. I don't agree, but that's fine.
Finally, we don't agree on something. All right, so that takes us to our main event, which I am really looking forward to this match a lot.
I was, but I'm not anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I've changed my mind.
Okay.
It was literally in the last 5 seconds I've changed my mind.
So is it because we talked about so many damn good matches for the last hour and a half?
No. It had nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that it just dawned on me. Gargano and Ciampa were supposed to be in another program together, which who knows, could have gone on for 3 months, 6 months, could have gone for another year.
Right.
I don't see Gargano losing because of that fact. I thought he was going to have the upper hand. It's going to be the role reversal in the whole thing with him and Ciampa because Gargano is so fucking over right now. Even as a heel, he couldn't get heel heat. Like he's so loved and respected by everybody. No matter what role he plays, he's fucking over. He's Johnny Takeover, man. He's fucking over right now.
Right.
And I think Adam Cole is just a filler because Ciampa can't wrestle. I don't think Ciampa's going to win. I think Gargano is going to have a long run because he's been fucked over for how many months now? Like he's never had that one huge run.
Mm-hmm.
This is his fucking time to have that run. That's my opinion.
That's the main thought I've had is the same thing, but I've gone a little back and forth on it because I don't think they want to turn Gargano face yet. And I think if you give him the title finally and he gets the big fanfare and stuff like that, they are going to turn him into a huge baby face again.
Well, I think he was turned face when he got jumped by fucking Ciampa.
See, I don't think so because he stood there yeah, you didn't get me, but he still kind of had that shit-eating grin on his face, and
right.
And his wife, she was next to him doing the same thing, and he still looked really heelish.
But look at the difference between the last two takeovers, where he's a super heel against Aleister Black, but then he kind of played the baby face, like he totally changed character against Ricochet, even though Ricochet is a clearer face. Mm-hmm. He had a different attitude on him. Like, he was smiling, he was fucking slapping hands and stuff like that. Like, the takeover before that, he was, just pissed off. Like, he just turned heel, and he was totally playing it up there. But then I don't know if it's just because the fans still loved him, he kind of softened a little bit. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think no matter what he does, he's going to be over.
I'm interested to see where the crowd goes in this match. Because
people love Adam Cole.
People love Adam Cole. People love Johnny Gargano too.
It's the same thing. Even though Cole's a heel, people fucking love him.
Right.
Shout out to fucking Grand Pooh Bear, our boy.
Yeah.
Fucking Adam Cole's #1 fan, dude. Actually,
right.
I think he's fucking Adam Cole's #1 fan. Like,
I think it's mutual.
Adam Cole loves him some fucking Pooh Bears. We all do.
I know, man.
But yeah, no, I think no matter what Adam does, he's gonna get the fans. It's hard. You may have the crowd, do the chant for Gargano, and then have the crowd chanting for Cole. Like, it's going to be 50-50 split.
Right. There is one other thing I've thought about.
Either guy.
Yeah, you could.
You can't. They're so charismatic, man.
The beginning of the year, Adam Cole cut a promo in the middle of the ring with Undisputed Era, and he made a comment saying, by the end of 2019, Undisputed Era will hold all the gold.
That's true. And that was the whole faction to begin with.
Right. And it's weird that they dropped the tag team titles since then.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm wondering, okay, since Gargano got hurt and their plans have kind of changed.
I mean, Ciampa.
Sorry, yeah. When Ciampa got hurt, is that the direction they're going to go now? Obviously, they don't have Undisputed Era in the tag team title match. But do they go ahead and put the title on Adam Cole and go, all right, I've done my part. Now it's time for you guys to do yours.
I mean, I like it, and I see where you're going with that, and that's a legitimate argument. But I still, I don't know, maybe just me and my stupid wrestling logic. I think Gargano was supposed to have a run with Ciampa, and he was supposed to be the champion the entire time, and Cole is just really playing a filler right now until they figure out how long Ciampa's going to be out.
Right. Do you think Gargano would have beat Ciampa at this show?
Yeah, absolutely.
You do?
100%. There's no fucking doubt in my mind. Yeah.
So WrestleMania moment, Gargano finally getting the title.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's hard to argue that.
It is. Yeah,
it is because
that's just how I feel.
Because Gargano or Ciampa's had Gargano's number for 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
he finally got. I mean, it's hard. It's
He-
hard to argue that because
he hasn't had that run, and he deserves it. He's been fucked over so many times. Yeah.
You know, my heart and my gut says Gargano. I just, man, do they want to pull one on us though? And the crowd would be happy with Adam Cole.
Oh, the crowd would be happy either way.
Yeah,
absolutely. And don't trust me, I love Adam Cole. He's fantastic. Isn't it a weird dichotomy that he's a heel, but he's really a face because he's so over?
He might be one of the most over baby faces in the company, and he's a heel.
Fish and O'Reilly play more of the standard typical heel role.
Yeah,
because he has more outward charisma, and he's more of an outgoing guy, and they're kind of the hard hitting fucking badass, tag team. Like,
right.
It's a complete different dichotomy in the same faction. Yeah, it's just kind of funny to see that. And I don't think a lot of people think about that.
Is Adam Cole the most anti pre-leukemia Roman Reigns that there is?
Maybe.
Because Roman was like the main baby face that got booed every week, but Adam Cole is like one of the main heels that gets cheered like crazy by everybody.
Yeah, you may be right. No matter what he does, like he's over.
He is. He's so over.
And Roddy Strong is pretty much the same way too. Like,
yeah,
Roddy's so fucking good, man. Like, doesn't matter how much heel shit, how many he tries to do, fans still fucking love him too.
Yeah.
Talk about someone who doesn't get enough credit for being that good.
Oh yeah, he's so good.
Kind of been an afterthought in the Undisputed Era, but dude, Roddy's fucking money, dude. He really is.
I feel like O'Reilly's been kind of the same way.
No, absolutely. I think O'Reilly is the better of the two between him and Fish, but I think Roddy is due for a big run in WWE at some point.
Yeah, I think so.
I just don't want him to turn into a Rude.
No,
because that's easily what could happen to him.
Or stick him on 205 Live or something. Like he deserves better than that.
He's a great looking guy. He's got a great body. He's fucking strong style. Like, you don't realize, a lot of people don't realize he hits hard.
Messiah the backbreaker, man.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny. He's nowhere near this card. Like, it's just
not having the entire Undisputed Era on this card is weird.
It is weird. Yeah, I agree. But again, it's WrestleMania weekend. These are probably going to be long matches. These are probably going to be 30, 40-minute matches.
Besides Dunn and Walter, in my opinion.
Right.
but could be. Yeah, it could be. Okay, so I got to make a pick.
You got to make a pick. And we're fucking
you're going Gargano.
4 hours on the show, so.
Right. You're going Gargano. Man. You know what? Just to be different, I'll go Cole.
Okay. All right.
Even though, like I said, my heart and my stomach says Gargano, and that's a lot of stomach to go one way.
Yeah, this may be our most diverse picks yet, because usually we've had one like tiebreaker match and still end up in a tie.
Right.
I think at some point we need to fucking get a goddamn clear winner in our picks. But
that damn G1 card, we almost picked the exact same one every time.
Except for John, who's fucking undefeated.
Which, John beat Blake and I in the UFC pick last week.
Did he really?
Yeah.
How good is he at prediction shit? We got to take him to Vegas.
Kicking our ass in the prediction contest, man.
Right? You got to take him to Vegas.
I really do. Like, yeah.
Real, yeah.
Funny, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Johnny, you're going to Vegas for StarCast. Just letting you know.
Right.
Tell the wife you got to go.
Yeah, tell Hambone. He'll be there too.
Yep. Well, good deal, man. Well, goddamn, this has been our WrestleMania show. This is almost a 4-hour show. Almost been a 4-hour show.
It wouldn't even preview WrestleMania.
Yeah, I know. And
this is just WrestleMania weekend.
Yep, it's just WrestleMania week, man, and there's a lot to talk about. So,
yeah, I hope we did a good service for showing what's going to be going on this weekend besides WrestleMania, because it is bigger than just WrestleMania now. It's the world of wrestling showing what everybody else can do as well. And absolutely. If you guys just give it a chance, you guys are not going to be disappointed, I promise.
Yep, absolutely right. This is the best time of year, man. For real. This is going to be the best weekend of the year for wrestling.
Yep. And I get to spend it with you, dude. I couldn't think of a better place to be. So
yeah, man, I'm super excited. I can't wait, man. This is what we've been looking forward to.
Hell yeah.
This is our WrestleMania weekend, literally.
This is.
So that being said, where can we find you on social media, buddy?
All right, guys. You guys can follow me on Twitter. I'm at RunWithTurtles. Also have my Twitch gaming channel, which is twitch.tv/runwithturtles. And also have my active YouTube page, which I've been putting some stuff up there lately. So you guys go check it out. And it's just do a YouTube search for Run with Turtles. Make sure you guys subscribe so I can get that URL to make it even easier for you guys. So you guys go check it out.
And you can follow me on Twitter at RadRobGaming. My Twitch channel is twitch.tv/RadRobGaming, and you can search me on YouTube, RadRobGaming. Our show Twitter page is at RadTurtlesPod, and our show's email address is radturtleswrestling@gmail.com. Shout out to Grappler6 for the new fancy fucking logos we got here.
Yeah, man, did an awesome job on them.
Did a fantastic job, and we really appreciate him. Big supporter of our show. He's also going to be involved in the show that we have coming up for this Saturday. It's day 6 of Radmania. Will be a WrestleMania retrospective.
We talked about car crashes. Just wait till you listen to this episode of the Rad Turtles.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it starts out as a WrestleMania retrospective, and then we start talking about all kinds of outlandish shit. But anytime the Grappler's around, you know the fucking shit's going to fly, and the show's going to go off the rails. But before that, we'll have our NXT TakeOver post-game show, streaming live on the Wrestling with Reality YouTube channel. Look them up on YouTube. It's Wrestling with Reality. You guys know who they are. You know who John is. John's the owner of the Reality Check Podcast Network and a friend of the show. We're going to be with him. It's going to be you, me, John, Matthew Majewski, and is Blake going to be on that one too? I'm not sure.
On the pre-show?
On the NXT TakeOver post-game.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're going to be on the air on YouTube Live right after NXT TakeOver New York goes off the air. We will be streaming live so you guys can interact with us as we break down the show. And then Saturday, day 6 of WrestleMania, day 6 of Radmania. God damn, I'm promoting it so much. You'd think I'd have that ingrained in my brain, right?
WrestleMania might be 6 days.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, it's true. Day 6 of Radmania will be our WrestleMania retrospective with Grappler 6, the Ocho, number 8, Grappler 9, who hasn't been on our show yet, you, myself, and Blake Shake and Bake Ziegler. So Blake's gonna be all over this fucking our podcast all weekend. So
yep,
he gets a little rub from us. So
yeah,
because I know I'm his idol. So
it's true. Makes it well known.
So yeah, you guys will enjoy it, the Grappler show. It's always entertaining when they come on, and this is no exception.
A lot of laughs.
Yeah, and then Sunday to cap off the final day of Radmania. What a fucking week it's been, man! I'm telling you. This fucking Radmania thing was your brainchild, and I took it and ran with it and set up all the shows. How fucking great has that been, man? PCO on Monday, Sean Mooney on Tuesday, Sean Grandy on Wednesday, the Flagship today. Tomorrow's going to be the goddamn NXT pre-show or post-show, the Grapplers, and then fucking WrestleMania, man. We're doing the pre- and post-show live on YouTube Live on our brand new Rad Turtles Wrestling channel.
Yep.
On YouTube. We have nothing up there yet. This will be the first official launch of the page, and after that, we're going to be putting up the shows from this week in video form.
Yep.
So look out for that, and we're going to do some. We're going to tape our extravaganza this week, our all the happenings of Jeff and Rob reunion, or not reunion, but our first time
union. Our union,
our
holy union,
our holy union this weekend. So you're going to see all of our
running wild this weekend.
Yep. You're gonna see all of our gallivanting and all of our whereabouts, where we're gonna be. So we're gonna put that up there too on YouTube. So YouTube Live, search, or just YouTube in general, search Rad Turtles Wrestling, and hopefully it'll come up in the search. We have nothing on there, but we're still
go ahead and subscribe, guys.
Yeah, subscribe anyway, there, please. So. And we're going to tweet out the link to where you guys can interact with us on Sunday. We're doing the pre-show. It's going to be 11 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 o'clock Central. It's going to be you, me, John Wangland, and Hambone from the freaking Hambone Show. And then the post show is going to be you, me, John, Blake, and Anthony Katina, the Six Tool product.
Yep.
Local indie wrestler up in the Northeast. Also wrestles for Rocky Mountain Pro. The future of the business. This guy has fucking money. You guys will enjoy him. Super charismatic. Got muscles for fucking days. And he's a fun guy. He's a really good guy to talk to. So, and we haven't talked to him yet, so I'm excited to meet him for the first time. But yeah, man, we're gonna be on YouTube Live, Rad Turtles Wrestling channel, 11 o'clock Eastern, for the WrestleMania pre-show, breaking down everything that's going to be happening that night, including all of our predictions for the show. And then as soon as WrestleMania goes off the air, it's sometime around 2 o'clock in the morning, we'll be on YouTube Live doing the WrestleMania 35 post-game wrap-up show. And you guys can also come on YouTube and chat with us and hang out in the chat room. And we're going to have a good time, man. And we're fucking streamers anyway, so we're used to having people in chat around. I can't wait. It's a great way to cap off the weekend.
Yep, I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward to it. This whole Rad Mania has been an awesome experience. I'm glad we did it.
Fucking tired. I'm not gonna lie. I'm worn out.
Right.
I really am. But it's been worth it, man. It's a passion project of ours. It's life altering. This really is. And we do it because we love it, and we do it because we love to entertain all of you. Shout out to everybody across the world that's listening to our podcast. We can't be any more excited, any more humbled by the response that we've had, especially this week. Holy shit. All of our hard work has really paid off. We're in like 22 different countries. We're over, thousands of downloads for a small upstart. We used to get excited when we had 15 downloads after, our show. And now we got, I think Sean Grandy did like 68 today alone or even more because we don't have all the analytics yet. But just it's overwhelming, your support for our show and for the network in general.
Yep.
So we appreciate everything you guys do for us. So that being said, you guys have a great rest of your day. We will see you Friday night for the NXT TakeOver post-game show on the Wrestling with Reality YouTube channel. We'll be live streaming right as soon as NXT goes off the air. So until then, hope you guys are well. We'll see you on Friday. And Jeff, great show, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Loved it, as always.
I'll see your sexy ass tomorrow, too. So
sounds good, man.
Until then, you guys be well. Take care. See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks again for listening to the Rad Turtles Wrestling Podcast. Once again, you can follow us on Twitter. We are at RadTurtlesPOD. And you can email the show, and we will read it on air. Our email address is radturtleswrestling@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate all of your support. You have been listening to the Rad Turtles Wrestling Podcast, only here on the Reality Check Podcast Network.